Hi there, everybody. Hello, folks. Welcome in to Cyberpunk. Once again, episode 13. We're teenagers now. Wait. As always, I am your game master, Jonathan. Pronouns he, any. And yeah, I'm excited to dive right in. Fun fact for this week. Oh no. I had a fun fact. Oh, yes, I do have a fun fact. But yes, come back to me here in a moment. I'm actually going to break protocol and popcorn, right? Let's also switch things up here. Let's go reverse order just because why not? So I'm going to throw it down to Ashley. We're going to go reverse for introductions and your fun fact. I will be right back after I grab something.
I'm Ashley, she, her. I'm playing Pixie. And my fun fact is, gosh, I always forget to do these things. I booked a much needed vacation this weekend, so there's that. Yay!
You're declining to say where to?
I'm going to go to New York City.
Nice.
December, yeah.
It's always fun.
Yeah.
Wait, I hear you're visiting or moving to New York. Is that what I heard?
Oh gosh, I'm just visiting. I'm not moving there.
Okay. I was like, hold on. Got it. Cool. All right. So then round two, Angela.
Hey, hi. I'm Angela. Everything I was about to say just went right out of my head. I am playing Tara Trilby, aka Patch, she, her. Don't really have a fun fact. Only thing I can think of is we did have a lizard in the house the other day, this being Florida. Most people have spiders, we have lizards. But I did manage to find it before I shut the bathroom door on it. And it was fun with two cats who like to eat lizards. I was just trying to gently and safely punt it out the back door alive. So that was a trip. But yeah, that was a highlight of my week. So,
I mean, at least it was a lizard and not, a gator. So there's that.
True.
All right. Round two, Matthew.
As someone who is also from a hot, terrible state, I remember growing up, I was always much more grateful to see a few anoles living in the bathroom, little lizards, than to see the wasps or spiders that we get in Texas. So I'm always happy to see a friendly little lizard over a horrible, horrible bug. My name is Matthew. I am playing Opera, both he, him, and fun, at least for me, is last week my home Pathfinder first edition game was off for totally understandable reasons. And so instead of using the time to just relax, I decided to spend the time productively by adding class levels and templates to things that should have neither. So my players have that to look forward to for their insolence in deciding to not play for a weekend.
Creating new supervillains on your off week. That very much tracks for you. And I mean that in the best way. Last but not least, over to Lee.
Hi, I am Lee, and pronouns she, her, and I'm playing Beau Delarue, pronouns he or any. And I don't know if I have a fun fact at the moment, but I don't know, Beau's he's normally the golden retriever of the group, and now he's a very sad golden retriever. But I'm sure things will look up and he won't die. He's only got 4 hit points. He's gonna be fine.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
Puddles,
You'll be
right?
fine.
Nothing a hug won't fix.
Exactly. Just a little band-aid and a hug. It'll be good.
Yeah. Yeah, just sleep it off. You just major physical and emotional trauma.
Yeah.
All right, so back to me, that fun fact. I've actually got 2 fun facts because it just popped up on my streamer side here. It is apparently the affiliate anniversary for the Quelmar realm. So we've been a Twitch affiliate for at least 1 year, if not more than one. It just says anniversary. So happy affiliate anniversary to us. Yay. I am usually not the Twitch streamer, so it's apologies for any sort of ignorance, but I still think that's very exciting. And lastly, the fun fact that I went to go retrieve, as I may have mentioned before, or you might be aware, the Quelmar realm does have a lending library. For all, bottom line is we don't believe there should be any barriers to telling a story. So with this lending library, if you're short on resources, resources to run a game, books, what have you, that is where we come in. And a recent contribution to the lending library, we've now got 3 copies of The Well, which is a dungeon crawl horror TTRPG by Peter Schaefer. And Peter Schaefer is also the person who directly donated these copies. So donated directly from the creator. I think I am curious at least to run, if not a one-shot or maybe a some-shot for The Well at some point soon, just because it's neat. Probably after Cyberpunk wraps up, but very exciting. If this sounds good to you, then head over to our Discord. We've got Discord or our main website. We've got the links to our lending library if you would like to check out The Well for yourself. It is a fun, lightweight, not light in tone, role-playing game of exploring dungeons, finding treasures, and collecting grievous wounds. From the city of Bastion, buried underneath endless layers of crypts, you delve upward, fighting undead abominations formed from the bones of your own ancestors. How high can you go? It seems very neat. Whoops. As I just completely smack my microphone here.
It sounds like if they turned the Fall of the House of Usher into a roguelike.
Yes. I'm afraid I don't... Fall of the House of Usher, I'm afraid I don't know that reference. I'm exposing my ignorance again. Yeah. In any case...
You definitely read it in high school.
Did I? I don't...
As like a signed reading. It's like an Edgar Allan Poe story.
I mean, we didn't read it in high school, but I just sort of like, and I've actually not even read the whole thing. I just have read the Wikipedia for it.
Yep.
Because it's referenced a lot and stuff.
Yeah. High school was a while ago, so if we did, I might just need a little bit of memory jostling. Hell, I need memory jostling for things that happened within the past month, much less over a decade ago. In any case, let's get to our recap. So I throw on a little bit of that background ambiance here. Yes, so last week was a big one. We finally kicked off Act 3 after pulling off a successful heist. The security force guard tower was exploded. The Emissaries of Tomorrow was the faction that took credit for that. Decidedly less sneaky, stealthy than you lot were. And unfortunately, the forces of New Gallic decided to respond in kind, bombarding the city, breaking open the dome overhead, exposing Echo Center to the sky for the first time in who knows how long, and bombarding the surface of the city, including the Neon Garden. Having been a little bit of warning from the gardener, Bo got a text from the gardener with a very brief warning that just said, "Get out." And as you just started to sort of try and evacuate the Neon Garden was, in fact, one of those targets bombarding. You were able to get out a lot of people, but not everybody. There was a lot of heroic efforts to try and get yourselves and everybody else out. With the ceiling collapsing all around your ears, some people had some pretty grievous wounds that you still have. Bo, in particular, had one last stand and managed to get a few extra people out and had it not been for a healing item used, we might not have seen Bo again this week, but you all did manage to make it out with, some in single digits of HP. And now you had that moment of, what do we do now? Your home base has been destroyed. And so, weighing your options, you decided to use your connections to the Emissaries of Tomorrow, the very somewhat extremist group, one might say, but who were responsible for blowing up the tower, but contacted them for perhaps a little bit of safety and perhaps a little bit of revenge for what they have done. And also, significantly, in the aftermath, you were not able to evacuate everybody, and it appears that Iris, Bo's second in command for the Neon Garden, was among those who did not get out. So, with that in mind, Patch sent a text over to Scratch, her brother, aka Marcus, to try and make that contact. And with that, you are given a set of coordinates, some directions to meet up with this organization. You follow the path, walking your way over. Also, no, I really should, 13 episodes in, I should really write, I know I should write these down. Quick points of note as well. In addition to the bombardment, the garage has been seized by the forces of New Gallic, and on Pixie's sort of security feed on her agent, saw some of the Liar Guard, spelled like the instrument, which are the most elite forces of New Gallic. These aren't just some rent-a-cops like some of the security force was. This is top of the line bloated military forces. In addition to seizing the garage, there is also seems like they have formed a perimeter around, like sort of formed a detainment camp around the Technohemian community on the beach. So not perhaps a ton of options, and you chose to follow up with the Emissaries of Tomorrow. So then, it is still, you are still very hurt. You have not had the chance to rest yet, but with these sort of directions given by Scratch, you make your way to the slums section of the city. No one here in the city is particularly rich. That's kind of the whole point. Necronia is meant to lord over everybody physically, financially, and otherwise. But this is really the poor section of a poor city. So go into the slums. There is still a fair amount of debris, smoke in the sky. It continues to billow out the top of the dome as more sunlight sort of streams in. And you see waiting on the corner is, in fact, Scratch. I am trying to remember. Did I give him glasses before? He's gonna have glasses now. We'll give him these, sure. He sees you, and there is no indication here that there is any sort of like headquarters or anything. Like, it's just more sort of run down shantytown like anywhere else here. This was not one of the targets of bombardment because there's really not a lot here, other than people. But there on the corner, you see Scratch as he comes up, gives you a wide smile. Patch, seems all right. Does not seem seriously injured. Certainly doing a lot better than you lot. And he sort of opens his arms for a hug, if you accept.
Yeah, I'm going to take a step forward and I'm gonna hug him, but it's like just so exhausted that I just sort of like fall and just grab him and be like, "It's been a day."
Yeah, he catches you in this hug and helps stand you back up on your feet and say, Pat, Tara, it's really is great to see you. You, no offense, you kind of look like shit, but, well, I'm just glad you're here at all. To be honest, after that, as he just like gestures upward with the head, after that, well, part of me was afraid that I wouldn't see you again at all. Especially, I know you hang around the garden, and from what I hear, that, well,
yeah,
it's gone too.
It's a smoking crater. Wait, did the others come with me? Are they behind me?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
okay.
Unless there is something else that you other three want to do along the way, we're sort of, railroaded you along.
I would just gesture to them and just tell him, yeah, we made it out. Not everyone was that lucky.
Yeah. I mean, they haven't told me everything, but based on the reports that we're getting, there's, suffice it to say, they've got a lot that they have to pay for. They've got a lot to answer for, and, well, I think we are going to be that answer. But I think can't say too much out here. You understand. Please come inside. Love of God, yeah. Looks like you all could at least sit down for a moment, please. And he sort of like waves you through.
Jonathan, where is Harper? Did she come with us? I can't remember if we said anything last time.
Harper, you loaded some of the sort of victims that you're able to extract from the Neon Garden, like kind of loaded up the car and helped transport them to help, if memory serves. So Harper is off kind of helping some of the other people who need medical attention.
But do I have her car?
You don't. You don't at this moment, but that is like the one vehicle that has not been seized. Everything else in the garage clearly has been seized by the Liar Guard. Though you are not driving it at this moment, you do ostensibly have access to that car.
Got it.
Cool. And yeah, I think let's just get a quick, brief check-in with everybody. He holds the door open to usher you all inside. How are we all looking / feeling at this moment, just to sort of jostle our memories and set the scene here a little bit? Let's start with Patch.
Yeah, I mean, I know Bo probably looks worse than her, but she looks pretty bad, like barely on her feet. Plus, I think she's still really just standing due to the adrenaline in her system from triage and taking care of the people that almost didn't make it out. And she's still just kind of like, she's waiting for a safe moment to drop, and then when that happens, she is going to drop.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, that makes a ton of sense. Yeah, just trying to hold it together for a little bit longer. Pixie, how about you?
Pixie's seen better days. She's upright, but she probably is upright enough that she could probably help support Bo a little bit, but it's not looking good.
Yeah. Okay. Opera.
My crumple zones are distinctly crumpled, but otherwise I am all right. I am injured, but all of my fluid reservoirs are still full.
Are you still mourning your toaster knife?
You had to bring him up again.
Sorry.
I'm trying to move on.
Rip toaster knife. You still got one, but it's almost sadder only to have one of the pair rather than both.
They're like songbirds. They mate for life.
Exactly. And then finally, Bo. How about you?
I mean, yeah, pretty bad. I imagine he's just probably got like oh god, I mean, he's got like the leftover, probably like from the whatever the stim pack or whatever he used to, like, I don't remember what it's called off the top of my head, but the thing he used to heal, and he's probably got like some sort of like whatever he had on him tied over like the wounds that he had. But yeah, he's still just like, yeah, every bit of like color and bit of like the only color that is currently on him is the red of his blood, and this like a little bit of a red spark that's like behind his, you can see kind of coming through his eyes, like behind his glasses. Otherwise the rest of him is just completely like solid, or well, other than his skin is solid black. And then yeah, a little bit of a like just blood squirting out the side, you know.
Yeah. Is it blood? Is it sparks? Both. We used to say, but none of y'all are in great shape. Bo is clearly in the worst shape. And yeah, with, of course, all the usually very colorful skin and hair, not so much. Okay, you are all led inside as they like open this door. You can see that as Scratch opens this door here, there's sort of like the shanty door facade. As he opens it up, you can see that it is actually a reinforced door. You are led down this hallway here, and I'm going to change up the ambiance and change screens here. Yeah, there we go. Whoop, 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 whoop. Too many monitors. All right. That's more like it. Sweet. So with this, as you go down the hallway, you do see some of the other emissaries of tomorrow. That lot, you see a lot of them seem like they are... You see drink bottles that are like half full or empty kind of along the hallway, but those are all shoved into the corner. After all, for a while, there was mass celebration in the city, which you saw. However, there we go. However, it seems like those thoughts have been pushed aside as you see what look like people trying to gear up for war. You see like bullets being fed into magazines, very much sort of like a guerrilla headquarters vibe here. You see some looks from people heading down the hallway. After all, you're not wearing any of the paraphernalia or like iconography of the emissaries, but with Scratch in the lead and also seeing how hurt a lot of you are, no one like really accosts you here. You get maybe a couple of nods here or there. Bo, I think especially with your connections, you certainly recognize a few people, or at the very least, they recognize you. Yeah. And finally, you're led into what looks like a well-converted living room. And that's where, boop, the map that we see ourselves on now. Don't mind the little red face in the corner. That is just the little dummy I have as the camera. Whoop. Should really be careful where I click. The camera here for the stream. Yeah, there are some like chairs, couches here where you're able to just like take a moment and finally nearly collapse down so you don't have to stand anymore. There is quite a lot of activity in here. You're seeing like boards being pulled over. It has all the feeling of a war room, because that is essentially what this is. This is like the heart of the headquarters as far as you can tell. You were led in through this door here on the right. Yeah, zoom out a little bit. You do see a couple of doors. Something that you do notice here, kind of off to this up here to the north, you do see that, strangely enough, there everything else has been normal enough. That door is wooden. You didn't really think that they have wooden doors in this day and age around here, but there is a wooden door there. It's got a couple of guards posted outside of it, but after a few moments, there is... I'm going to turn that down a little bit. Music got more aggressive. Stop it. There we go. Through this side door here that you see in the middle right, after a few moments to collect yourselves, you see striding out this woman here. I'm going to zoom in for the stream so we can see her look here. Her hair is tied back, this curly hair. You see this sort of cyberware draped across her brow here, almost like glasses, and notably there is sort of this like cyberware right here, almost looks like a third eye there sitting just on the ridge of her brow. And as she approaches, yeah, let's use these. As she approaches, looks at the lot of you, nods pretty solemnly. I'm so glad that you are here. Let us do proper introductions. I am Leska. I am, well, more or less in charge of this operation, this outpost here for the Emissaries. That is spelled Leska, Leska. I think that at least some of you have heard rumors of this figure, Leska here, one of the leaders of the Emissaries of Tomorrow. But I don't think any of you have actually met her before. It's only after all pretty recently that the Emissaries have been relevant to society, to Echo Center as a whole. So, yeah, please. Well, I am, well, sorry to see that you are in somewhat, well, rough shape, but I'm glad to see you here at all. I think it is pretty clear that something drastic must be done. We struck back at the security force, the forces of Ikronia, but even we had no idea that they would respond so, well, violently, put it mildly. As you might imagine, we are preparing to strike back. That is what everything that we are focusing on right now. If we are not we are focusing all our efforts to strike back so that this will not happen again. We cannot survive to tomorrow if they can just bomb us into oblivion. So, if you are willing to add your strength to ours, I think there is something we can do about that. How do you all respond? Mm-hmm.
If you were surprised by what they did, what makes you sure you're ready to take them on?
Well, we expected counterattacks. That is, well, the nature of war, which is, well, what we are in at this moment. That is very clear to us now. This seems to have been their ace in the hole. They cracked open the dome to bombard us all. Really, all that's left is to level all of Echo Center. If they were planning on doing that, then they would have already. It would seem as if they are still trying to exert force over us all, which means that there is a small window to stop that from happening. I don't think that there will be any major surprises left because, well, there is really only one ace up their sleeve left, which is just to erase the city as a whole. And that is what...
well. So we're staring down the prospect of an apocalyptic bombardment from these people who have the ability to break the sky asunder. But I'm so glad to see your secret base is well defended. A wooden door? Were you all out of sponge cake?
You see that she sort of chuckles. Well, glad to see that not everything, that your personalities were not destroyed in the attack as well. And Opera, that sort of gumption is exactly why we need your help. Don't mind about the wooden door. Well, even if it were made of steel, that won't do much against direct bombardment. Very little will. But we have a plan to stop this from happening again. She snaps her fingers, and so here on the map, there are plenty of like guards and other forces, Emissaries of Tomorrow here in the map, but in order to make it less cluttered, I don't have those tokens there. You see, like with a snap, some of the people who are running about, tending to business, sort of now turn their focus in as the war meeting here is about to begin. And I think before she starts, though, she looks at all of you in turn. I understand hesitations to join our efforts before. After all, we do not hesitate to do what must needs be done. I understand your hesitations before, but if we are to join forces here, our resources will be available to you. But do you agree? I assume that you are here to add your might to our own, and in fact, we will likely rely on it. Something that you need to understand about these people, as they have shown, they will not hesitate to kill any number of us, to wipe us out. They might have chosen to do that already, so in response, can I count on a lot of you to do what needs to be done? Mercy, unfortunately, I think is off the table when it comes to the forces of New Gallic. Do we agree?
What exactly are you asking of us?
I'm asking you to help us by any means necessary. That is what is required to stop. Well, I don't think I need to point out the enormous gunship currently floating above our city. We need to use every bit of strength we have, even if it is perhaps a bit distasteful.
All right, well, where do we start?
Excellent. That is what I want to hear. You other three?
How can you ensure that we're not going to be just as bad as they are? If we're using the same tactics and the same methods of being, frankly, right assholes. how can we be assured that should we win and you, us, we, I mean, whatever you guys are, take power, how do we ensure we're just not going to end up repeating ourselves? What guarantee can you make? Because frankly, all these people right here, yes, I might be bleeding from the neck and about to pass out, and I just threw up in my mouth a little bit, but we're all a bunch of badasses. So the fact that we're even here, well, I think we can help you, but I just need to know that you're not going to just turn around and do what they're doing, if that makes sense. My brain's a little foggy.
A fair question. The thing is, we don't. We all must trust each other here. I am trusting that you will not sabotage our efforts, and you are trusting that we will use our resources for the right purposes.
I guess my bigger question is, what do you all want out of this? Where do your morals lie?
At the end of the day, we want to protect Echo Center. That is what our goal is.
I'm gonna have to think over some things. I don't like the idea of killing and destroying without any modicum of kindness or morality, which, given how you just phrased it, it sounds like what your methods involve. I think the only way we are better than them is if we treat each other like souls, you know, like people capable of change and remorse. That's what separates us from the terrible people who just murdered my best friend.
During this speech, Opera leans over to Patch and says, "Isn't this the same Bose that choked a man to death with a sentient iPhone?"
I wasn't going to say it, but yes.
Okay, as long as we're on the same page.
We are.
It's called character development.
But it's a very inconvenient time to grow a conscience, Bo.
Bo always had a conscience. That man fucked with his best friend, or his, like, you know, his crew, and he was clearly not a good person. But Bo is learning how important being human is.
Dear God, she's developed inverse Batman syndrome. A friend dies and she becomes more merciful.
But yes, not to belabor the point, but yes, I guess I'm in. I don't really have anything else, any other options, but
Yes.
if you want someone to murder without remorse, talk to Opera.
Very well.
I'm sorry I couldn't hear you. I was sharpening my toaster knife.
Point to proven.
Amazing. So Leska here looks at you thoughtfully, and I understand. If we the whole reason why we are pushing to extremes is because that seems to be the only thing that they understand, that they listen to. Clearly their morals are, well, I was about to say grayer than ours, but that is, I'm starting to think they don't even have morals anymore. I think that the only reason they left the city standing at all is that they can use the rest of us, like they have been for some time. I understand your hesitations. This is what I will offer you here. I will allow you to remain here for the meeting to see the details of what we plan. I hope that you will join us in our mission, but if you choose not to, you must remain here until we carry it out. At this point, we cannot afford any setbacks. You will still have a choice, but if you choose not to, You will remain here under our supervision until the situation changes.
Seems fair.
And then looks at Pixie.
I mean, that's not really a choice, is it? Either you help by helping actively, or you have to sit back and let it happen.
Yes. I'm sorry, but this is what it has come to.
Well, I'll listen, but
Very well.
defer my decision until then.
And you see that Scratch sort of looks at a lot of you. You hopefully seems like very, yeah, like seems very hopeful. Is standing close to you. Patch kind of whispers to you, but I get it. Things are like, well, honestly, kind of fucked right now. But I still think that this is the best way to help. At this point, seems like the lieutenants and the various forces have finished assembling here in the makeshift war room, and they wheel in a sort of display, a holographic display, to start illuminating their points. Leska steps forward. I don't have to remind you all what they have done. The question is, what are we going to do about it? And with a snap, you see that the image of that massive gunship, this like airship, appears on this screen. This is the... I have to make sure that I am... got my notes here correctly. Yes. This is the GGF Diplomat, the ship that they have, their flagship that they have used, well, used to kill much of the city, many of our comrades, our neighbors, our friends. This is our target. If we can do what we will about the forces that have taken over the garage, that are starting to move in on our Technohemian friends. But if we don't do something about this, then all will be for naught. They can just choose to level the city at any point. And that we cannot have. Thankfully, we have come into possession of a gunship of our own. Obviously, not nearly so massive, but something that can get us up to the ship. We are still getting it ready. It will be prepared by tomorrow. Snaps again. You see, like, there is zooms in on this like much smaller gunship, and then it zooms out to scale. It is. Think sort of like a Y-wing or X-wing, like a Y-wing bomber, Star Wars, like, as opposed to like a Star Destroyer. The scale is massive. Obviously, this ship will not be able to do any external damage, but that is not the point. If we are able to smuggle a strike team aboard this ship, we can sneak in amongst their forces and dock and be able to infiltrate the GGF Diplomat. Once aboard, the primary plan will be to capture, or barring that, kill Commander Vixra. And a picture pops up of... Ooh, not supposed to see that, but pretend it's not there. You see this picture then appear on the board of this military outfit man here with this very dignified mustache and collar, and what looks sort of like an eye patch, but it's almost like monocle, eye patch. Clearly there's some sort of cyber tech thing going on here, but one of the sternest expressions that you have ever seen on a human being. This is Commander Vixra. He was responsible for this attack, is the commanding officer on the Diplomat. He will be on the bridge, we believe, in command. If we're able to infiltrate to the bridge, we can capture him, or if he will not go quietly, kill him. This will cripple their tactics aboard the ship, and we should be able to take things from there. There will be liar guards on the ship. This will not be an easy mission. If we are not able to seize control of the bridge, Plan B, backup, is to sabotage, disable, and crash the Diplomat entirely. That is, as she looks at, kind of glances over in the four of y'all's direction, that is why it is the backup plan. There are people aboard the ship. Some of them are the liar guard. They have made their choice. Some of them are technicians. They are technically the enemy, but they are people who might be convinced, might be brought to our side. But at the end of the day, these are military forces. We would rather not resort to those measures, but we will if we must, in order to survive, so that Echo Center might live to see tomorrow. Do we have any questions?
Seems fairly clear. I will bring you his mustache as proof of our victory.
Excellent. That was what I like to hear. I like everybody to make everybody make a human perception check here, please. Oh. Wow. Wow, wow.
Cool.
Thank God for patch.
For real. So, Opera, you're just, focused on the mission. You're, imagining that mustache, how good it would look mounted over your mantle. Pixie, with you're... Well, what is Pixie distracted by in this moment?
Oh, she's thinking about flying that ship. Mm-hmm.
Like the Diplomat?
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah, you're thinking like, how rad would it be to fly that, which is massive thing. Order like at least an order of magnitude, if not more than one, larger than anything you've flown before. I think that airships are rare. Like, there are a couple of airships under Nomad control that they've been able to recover and salvage, build up, what have you. But I think you may have had the opportunity to fly one once. Something like that. Be pretty sick. And then Bo, still
I think Bo's just about to pass out from his wounds, probably.
Yeah, there's also that. You all are still extremely hurt and traumatized. I'll wait to do that in a moment, but I'm going to put a mental pin over here. Patch, as you look to Scratch, who seems fiercely determined, you look at some of the other emissary forces, the Emissaries of Tomorrow. It's slight, and maybe you're mistaken, maybe you're overthinking, but like, there's something odd about the behavior of some of these Emissaries of Tomorrow here, in that they're it's almost like some of their movements or like the way that they're carrying themselves standing is like a little bit too similar, like a little bit echoing of, imagine kind of like in video games when they're like the crowd NPCs are like clearly on a loop that they try to offset each other so it's not like all in unison. You get those vibes. It's not everybody here, but they're like a couple people. It's almost like their movements echo each other, which is just a little bit jarring, a little bit weird. But you also have some blunt force trauma, so maybe it's just the way that they train here at Emissaries Tomorrow. But
and where are they? Where are the ones that are mirroring each other looking?
They're like paying attention to the meeting. Like they're all these forces are also like scattered around this room that you see here. There doesn't seem to be a pattern of like it's all the people in this corner. It just scattered. Yeah. Like, not really. Yeah, that's just behavior that you clock here. But notably, Scratch is, I think I said before, but Scratch is not one of those people. But in any case, yes. So with that in mind, the plan sort of laid out. So with this strike team, the ship will not be ready for tomorrow, so we will muster our forces. Of course, we will adopt some guerrilla tactics, hit and run on the garage, on the beach, one to weaken those positions and also to distract the main forces in the ship. Our main strike force, as she looks at the four of you. We are not a military operation. As try as we might, we are rebels here, not a well-trained military force. But there are some people who have proven how capable they can be in combat scenarios. If they accept, and she sort of addresses the forces here as a whole, if they accept our new recruits, as it were, will be part of that strike force. The main point of it, in fact. She looks at the four of you. Based on our sources, what we have witnessed, I believe that you all are more capable than many of our forces are. We are spread thin and we need all the help that we can get. Can we rely on you to help the assault on the Diplomat, to try and seize it for ourselves so that we may all live to see tomorrow?
Sorry, how many of those were mirroring in the back? Was it 2?
Like a small, like less than, fewer than 10. There's about like, about like 25 people crammed in here.
Oh, okay. I was imagining about half that, so okay.
Yeah, I should have said so before, but there's about 25 people or so like crammed in here. It seems to be some of like the leaders, lieutenants of this operation here, and then some. And they are, yeah, like, there are... Okay, no. I said less than 10. Okay, there are 9 of them exhibiting this behavior. Amazing. Yes. I myself will be with you on this mission as well. This is not just me standing in the back while I ask all of you to throw yourselves on the fire. I will be amongst you. Can we count on you?
I'm gonna lean over to Scratch. Oh, sorry. You can say something, Matthew? Oh, sorry. I'm going to lean over to Scratch. Do you trust everybody standing in this room? Because I'm sensing that a few of them seem to be copying each other in a very peculiar way.
Oh, you said Scratch. That's me. Cough. Says, wait, what do you mean copying each other?
Like NPC shit. Like doing the same thing with each other.
I mean, Leska's led us through some like basic training. Maybe that's what you're saying. I mean, we're not exactly a military, but we're kind of trying. I mean, that's the whole point of troops, is to like be the same, kind of.
I'm going to get up and walk over to one of them.
Okay.
Not within arm's reach. Maybe about 10 feet away from them, and just tilt my head and look at them.
Yep. So you got a 22 before. What? Tilting their head like to try and get their attention, or just looking at them?
I'm looking at them. First I want to see their reaction, and whichever one I clocked that is copying them, I want to see if they do the exact same thing or not.
Oh, like if they also seem to... Gotcha.
Like if one of them turns to look at me, see if the other one also turns, or if they're finally breaking out of that synchronicity.
Gotcha. As you do so, some of the people here, so not all of them are mirroring, but some of the people next to us are like, wait, what's up? And that the ones who were mirroring before do look at you. The ones who aren't close to that part of the 9 do not also turn to look at you. It's not like a all simultaneous thing. They seem to react normally.
Okay.
And kind of as you do that, oh, got you. Yeah. Yes, doggo, very important. So yes, Matthew will be right back. For the rest of you, like there is some chattering, some murmuring amongst the forces here, but Leska does seem to be looking at the lot of you for some kind of response.
I don't like it, but I don't feel like I really have much of a choice other than to help.
And then looks at Bo.
Kind of in the same boat over here, but honestly, at this point, if you'll just give me some drugs to heal me, I'm in. And then I think Bo, is this a bed over here? What's?
Yeah, I mean, so this is another map by Solution Maps. This is sort of like a rundown apartment. So yeah, there is functionally a bed over here. Of course, yeah.
Or on the sofa, Bo just sort of does the face plant into the sofa.
Sure. You do so, and say, we'll take that as a yes, I suppose. Yes, we will, of course, since you decide to help us, we will, of course, we don't exactly have a lot to spare given what has just happened, but we will give you as much, help you as much as we are able to recover yourselves, to make sure that you are at full strength to take on this operation.
You just sort of get like a backwards thumbs up as he's like face down on the couch, which is like, whatever.
Yes. And she delivers this to the lot of you as well as sort of the assembled forces as a whole. I realize what I am asking of you. I would not do so if we had a less extreme option, but we have been left with no other answer. We thought that bringing the tower down would, well, make it very we thought that we could take control of the city by doing that, or at least make a statement. We were not prepared for this. We will not be taken off guard again. And she sort of like bows to all assembled. Very well. I or my lieutenants will be giving out assignments to those of you who are raiding the beach, garage. Those instructions will follow to the strike team, you as well. Yes.
Patch actually hasn't said anything yet.
Oh, yes. Apologies. Yes. What does Patch say?
Well, Patch is just going to... Well, first she'll direct her attention to Leska and say, "You helped give my brother hope when I couldn't. That counts for something. And if it's a choice between this and total annihilation, I am in."
I know it is not an easy decision, but thank you. And she smiles and nods at you, smiles and nods at Scratch as well, who, if you look back at him, he just gives you a smile now that's like, finally seem to be on the same page. Scratch and Patch back together again, for what it's worth. All right. So then, yes, the activities versus yes, those who are part of the various strike teams, your instructions will follow. For those assaulting the diplomat, I will be overseeing those preparations myself. So prepare yourselves, and like Snaps gets someone to like help lead you over, and you four as well. You do see that amongst those assembled, there are people who are also not in the best of shape, who are posted elsewhere in the city or were helping with relief efforts, it would seem. So you are not the only ones led sort of towards another wing. Rest up.
As we're leaving, I just want to like turn back and be like, "Do not hurt my cars."
Smiles. We will take that into consideration. After all, they will be useful.
Consideration, don't do it.
Noted.
May I do one thing before we go
Sure.
to other areas?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to look back to the one that I had been looking at before.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just going to go, "Hi, I'm sorry. I feel like we've met before. I'm Patch. What was your name?" And in my peripheral vision, I'm going to see what the copy is doing.
Okay. Go ahead and make a perception check.
This feels so much like a Doctor Who episode.
What?
Watch, I'm just going to be talking to a wall after all this time. Perception?
Mm-hmm. A 12.
That still sucks. All right.
Okay. So it's a 12. You walk over to one of those 9 people. Ask her name. They just look back at you. "Oh, me? I'm Cassian. And you're Scratch's sister, right?"
Yeah.
Cool. Nice to meet you.
Oh, likewise.
Yeah. kind of wish it were, a little bit under better circumstances, but yeah.
Yeah, no kidding.
With a 12, you don't catch any like major response from any of the quote unquote any of the other 9 people here.
Gotcha.
Okay. With that, then you are, unless there's any other questions or business, you are led into you're led into a room that like has some rudimentary, certainly by your standards, Patch, a little more on the rudimentary side for medical tech and resources and stuff like that. It does seem as if like there is a door thrown open to the side. It looks like there is some sort of like canteen or dining room that you see tables and chairs have been pushed aside to cram more beds in, as well, with what has just happened, they need more medical area than usual. But so between a night's the rest here, so you will be updated on sort of like tactics and things like that, but with the sleep and medical attention that you were given, I am going to say that they have just enough medical resources in order to heal all of you back up to full. Normally in the Cyberpunk system, you went like recovery, unless you use items, is you sleep and then you get a number of HP back for body equal to your body. But in this case, with specifically having the emissaries help, they have just enough resources to like give you a few of the shots like Bo used in last episode to get you back up to full health. Cool. Is there anything that y'all would like to accomplish either during the night or before you go to sleep in the morning? Basically anything before this operation begins to move. Get the wheels turning.
I think there were a couple of nomads that were in the garage that we had left behind.
Mm-hmm.
Am I able to contact them in any way? Like, can I send a text or anything?
Yeah.
I just want to give them a heads up that the raid is coming.
Cool. So yes, with the roles and everything we had before, Harper was not at the garage when things went down, but there were a couple of like younger nomad assistants that you had there. When you watched your security feed, you did not see any of them there, so you hoped that they managed to like not get caught. And as you text them, yes, as a matter of fact, they do respond. So thankfully, it seems like they were able to. They couldn't save any of the other vehicles, but they got themselves out. So as you text them, they all respond. What do you say? Like, what would you like them to do? You warned them about the raid incoming. Is there anything else?
Maybe say something about like spread out in the city and help how you can, and you'll know when.
Okay.
Just in case things go to shit.
Okay. Yeah, you tell them that, and again, responses of based on the lines of, I don't know what I can do to help, but yeah, we'll spread out and do what we can. Yeah. And you get one of sort of the kind of headstrong ones, like, yeah, we'll get back our cars, I hope. Sweet. So you do so. So you all you all sleep for the night. I think some perhaps a bit more fitfully than others. I'm not sure if anyone really sleeps soundly tonight. Of course, that is all up to the lot of you. But at the very least, maybe with a little bit of medical encouragement or just sheer exhaustion, you're able to get a night's rest, and with medical supplies, you're back up to full. All negative status effects, if any, all those go away. You're back up on the ground. when you get up in the morning, there is a flurry of activity of everyone like sort of preparing themselves, getting ready for their assignments. You see getting kitted out, and Leska comes around and finds a lot of you. All right, you lot are with me. Is there anything that you wish to address before we go? Once we get up into the air, turning back is not going to be an option.
Is Marcus around?
Yeah, Marcus is around.
Just gonna give him a side glance and just say, "Don't die."
He looks at you. Yeah, wouldn't dream of it. I mean, same for you. I mean, I'm head to the beach, but honestly, I would say you watch out before I do. It's going to be a little bit more dangerous. A lot a bit more dangerous up there. Just look after yourself.
I will.
Yeah.
And so will my shotgun.
Yeah, did I hear correctly that, like, I mean, easy no, shouldn't be too hard, just, point and shoot, but, like, kind of heard that you're a pretty damn good shot with that, yeah?
Yeah, I am. I mean, so I've been told.
Well, maybe once we both get back, maybe you can show me some pointers there.
I'd like that.
Yeah. Never had much of an eye for the whole medical stuff. I don't do needles, but yeah, let's go shooting sometime. Yeah, that way. Well, maybe we can make a family outing of it. I haven't seen some of them in a while. I think it'd be nice to have a family reunion here soon.
It would.
Yeah.
But we need to have the city around for us to have the family reunion.
Yeah. Yeah. A little hard to have a... Well, yeah, exactly. I'd rather have a reunion in this life rather than... Yeah, let's just... We got this. We got this. And he gives you another hug and then gets called away by one of the other lieutenants to prepare for the beach assault. Right. Cool. You... Great. You go with Leska. She points to you. All right, you four with me. There are eight. So there are 9 people that go with you. The 9th being Leska. Seems there are like squads of 2 that are going to go with you on the ship. So there's going to be a total of 13 people on the ship. She mentions it'll be a little bit cramped on this ship, but well, we can do it. And we managed to sort of keep the ship. Not exactly easy to have an airship inside the city without it going noticed. So there will be a clearing nearby. Let Jonathan rephrase this. There is a grove outside the city. Should be able to get ourselves out there and then, well, forge a new tomorrow for ourselves. And you all move out. And I think as you leave this headquarters here, and get ready to begin this assault, I think that is a fantastic time for a break. For once, it's on the earlier side this time, but we're going to take a few minutes while we get prepared for the assault on the GGF Diplomat. Much like ship labeling, I guess you would call it. You know, like the SS blank or the HMS blank. GFF, as your characters would know, stands for Gallic Griffin Force. As a reference to the Lyre Guard mounts of old, literally griffins. Those aren't around anymore, but the name's stuck. So with that, I'll see y'all back here in a few minutes. So with all this in mind, as you get ready to assault this very, very large assault gunship here that was responsible for the destruction of, well, quite a bit of the city as well, not to mention many people who live in it. First off, as you all prepare in the morning, like I said, it is now a hive of activity as all of these missions, these plans are being carried out as soon as possible. Amongst that flurry there, our team is going to be able to access all the weaponry, the ammunition, the resources. So what I have told them is that they're going to be able to replenish their normal ammunition up to full, and if they've got any cash to spend, now would be an excellent time to do it. Who knows whether or not there'll be any shopping opportunities in the future, but at least right now, there is enough supplies to go around that they will be able to buy some stuff. In addition, they will each get one grenade of their choice, because grenades are fun and good. We love grenades, so they will have those available. And then, of course, or not of course, but in the very wee hours of the morning, perhaps after overcoming exhaustion, a little bit of restlessness, Bo wakes up and sneaks off for an early morning errand. What do you do?
Just super fast. Bo, I think tries to get up before anybody else, or at least in the quietest way possible, sneaks out and runs back over to the rubble that's left from the Neon Garden, and only because I don't think we haven't really seen this side of Bo yet, but his artistic side is that he will basically just gathered like the paints and glue and just like whatever makeshift materials he could find that would leave like paint on the side of the building, and paints a very sort of quick but still beautiful mural on the side. Well, if one of the walls from the Neon Garden is like brick walls is still partially up or something,
Sure.
He just paints a picture in sort of an Art Nouveau style, like a Cyberpunk Art Nouveau mashup of Iris, and all of it is like matte except for the iris of her eye, and in a sort of like the cover of The Great Gatsby, like inside the eye is the thing that Bo said or tried to say to the gardener. They tried to bury a garden, but the seeds will still grow. And a like, I don't know what it would be exactly in the story, but whatever a symbol of the revolution would be in this instance. So like something that's insert inspirational moment here. And,
Sure.
So that like the goal of it is it just looks like a beautiful mural during the day, but at night just the iris of the eye shines through with that revolutionary kind of motif happening.
Okay.
And then Bo sneaks back over to where he was.
I like that a lot. First off, before I forget, go ahead and take an extra luck point / whatever the first one you use will just be for free. The Emissaries of Tomorrow do have a symbol that you could use, or you can make up your own. if you want to make up your own, then some extra credit would be to, at some point here before the end of the campaign, to share that with me, and I can share that. But in any case, yeah, I'll ask: is it a symbol that you're making up, or the emissaries, since you're sort of joining their rebellion for now, at least?
I wouldn't. The thing is, I don't want to give away the fact that it's the Emissaries of Tomorrow that's doing anything.
Okay.
So I think it would just be like maybe something that has a little homage to whatever their symbol is, but like in a sort of if you know way, but the Galakites wouldn't necessarily recognize it.
Okay.
Just something to like inspire, if there's any, just something that just like shows the civilians, the people, the innocents in the city, that anybody who couldn't get out, that people are working, a revolution is going to happen. Don't lose hope.
Sure. So I'd say here in the wee hours, there are definitely still some triage and various, mostly like the people who are worst off have been evacuated by Harper, but there are still a few people about, most of whom are asleep. There's a very, very small handful of people who are awake at this point. Whether or not that they are awake already, awake still, maybe that they are subject to some pain that makes sleeping very difficult. But the few eyes that do see you just sort of watch this unfold. Certainly no one goes to stop you, but they all know who you are for sure. So they just sort of sit back and watch this unfold, and you see that by the time that you finish, a few of them, without saying anything, just step forward and place a couple of glow sticks there at the base of the mural.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. And just kind of give you a nod. Okay. And then you sneak on back. So, here in this activity, Lord, brain just stopped functioning for a moment. You follow Leska. This sort of strike team is with you, kitted out, as best they can be. They don't exactly have the runaway military budget that the Liar Guard has, but, for regular citizens, it's not bad. It's certainly something. You see tools, weapons, anything they get their hands on, as much as they can get their hands on, ready for this assault. I am pleased to see the lot of you looking better than you were before. It's time to lay it all on the line. We may not agree on everything, but, well, I'm glad you're here. And that's when you get a ping from your agents. If you remember at the very end when we were wrapped, like in the post talk last time, we finished the goal to change friend computer's setting. So with a ping, there is a sort of a strange sound here as you get a. Well, it would seem that I wasn't looking for trouble when I got up this morning, but trouble found me anyway. Yes. I just hope we don't run into any dastardly dames along the way. As friend computer has assumed the Humphrey Bogartron setting.
Good heavens, friend computer has gone from a public dick to just a private dick.
Amazing. Yeah. I love it. I love that so much. Go ahead and take a luck point. I love it. Yeah, no, I don't have a response to that. That was great. So, if things get a little rough and tumble out there, just know that, well, you got me on your side. As much as I can be. And, like, somehow, it shouldn't be possible, but you swear you get, like, the whiff of tobacco smoke off of your agents. But in any case, yeah, I'll say that, like, when the friend computers blips, his alerts now show up in, like, black and white boxes. So then, you follow Leska's lead out of the city. You, rather than going on the street level, you follow down a couple doors and hallways, and it seems like they've got some, like, tunnels from building to building. So as much as you can, there are a couple of moments where you need to, like, duck across an covered alleyway, but thankfully it seems like from here, whatever this headquarters is, they have a dedicated path towards the outskirts of the city, to the outskirts of the wall, and then until finally one of these shanties here towards the very edge of the wall. You now go down quite a ways. What the? Huh? Oh, okay. Sorry, the background music decided did not hit loop on that. So let's fix that. Because it's like, where are those gunshots coming from? Not yet. Here on the, like, this base here, you really go down what seems like a few basement levels, and there is this sort of clearly dug tunnel. And when you come out on the other side, there is a trap door, and you're outside. You are completely outside of the complex. This is it seems to be a secret exit out of the city, since the main entrance goes through goes by the garage, and you're gonna have a bad time. You follow through the jungle for a little bit until you get to this clearing, and there, very well camouflaged. You got the cargo nets and everything, this guerrilla operation. You see this modestly sized airship, and you see Leska looks up at it. It took us while we were preparing this, not only for flight but also, and she points out, you see that there are, like, symbols of the Gallic military now, like, that have been very recently painted on the outside of it. This is not one of their usual craft, but it should be able to, well, in all the activity going around, we should be able to slip in before they notice anything is awry. Once inside, our main efforts are going to be to make ourselves to the bridge. Actually, I'm going to wait for the briefing and once we're in the air, because it's more dramatic. You board the airship here. Leska does look at you, Pixie. I think one of my people could fly, but, well, it seems silly not to at least offer the position to you.
I mean, it certainly is very silly of you. I will, I guess I'll try to fly this thing.
Hell yes. Give me an air vehicle tech roll, or air pilot.
God.
Hold on, what the actual title of this
Pilot
thing
air
is.
vehicle?
Yes, that's the one. Thank you.
We're gonna put a couple luck in here.
Sure. $23, not too shabby. Here with sticking, yep, quite a bit of luck on there. Love to see it. So with a 23, you've done it once before, but for you, it might be flying, but the setup is still what you're used to. You've done it once before, which is enough times. You plug in to the interface here with your neural links, and with that, you... Oh, here it is. get everybody on board and lift off into the sky. So as you fly through the sky, this is with a 23, it's going to be nice, smooth flight. You feel like, say, hypothetically, they're not going to spot this rough, janky flying of this ship coming in. So you should be able to fly casual, as the saying goes, and get nice and close. So here in the air, let's go ahead and, I believe... Yeah, that's the music we want.
Leska, after this little mission here, can I keep this?
See, she sort of grins. That is not off the table. I think that would be fair recompense for your services.
I think so too.
Right then. So, here is the mission. And there is a sort of like smaller holographic display that she holds up. This is where we believe the bridge to be. As I do that. Yes, as you can see. This is where we believe the bridge to be. That is where we think that the commander of Vixra is going to be. That is our goal. If we are accosted along the way, points out secondary position on the ship. Here back towards... Our secondary goal will be to sabotage the ship, to crash it. At the very least, we must sabotage the main guns so that they will not be able to fire upon Echo Center again, at least not for a very long time. Permanent disruption would be preferable, but well, anything, something must be accomplished. And then, if possible, pings the engine room on the map. We can disable the engine room and send the whole thing, well, acquaint this whole thing with the ground. There should be enough time. If we have to disable the engines, there should be enough time to make it back to the hangar bay, but, well, we are all here to do what must be done. Hopefully it does not come to that.
So we're crashing this thing, right?
If we must. Plan A is to assume control of the bridge, and then it will be ours. Plan B is to sink it. Sink this ship.
If it goes down, how much of Echo Center would be destroyed?
Thankfully, the hole in the dome is not large enough to accommodate the ship, so the hull might sustain some damage. Depending, if we're able to break it, well, we should be able to... Oh, this accent is really drifting. We should be able to help it... Speaking of drifting, we should be able to list the ship so that it crashes into the jungle rather than the city. There may be... Hopefully we can avoid it. There may be some debris that can fall through the opening, but... If the alternative is, as you say, total annihilation, we will take the wins where we can get them. With these strike teams, gestured towards these 8 people. They seem to be standing in pairs. We may be able to split up. As long as we're able to stick to plan A, stealth is the name of the game. If we can make it to the bridge without being detected, that will be the most ideal. Yes, that will be the most ideal. I would rather not encounter every liar guard on the ship. But with that in mind, we may be able to split off so that the bulk of us, points to herself and the 4 of you, if at least we can get to the bridge, should be doable. And she goes on to explain in in-game terms, but out of game, I will explain to you all now. As you proceed towards the ship, you're going to have a general heading, like bridge is going to be your main goal. If things really go sideways, or if you choose to, you can peel off and try and sabotage the ship instead. Or in addition to, entirely up to you. each of you is going to be able to, out of game, basically command one duo. Each of you get one choice. Command these duo to go do a thing. Whether that's try and like cut some alarms, create a distraction, whatever that might be, each of y'all will be able to send off a strike team to go and accomplish something with this goal. Make sense? Yeah. I'm leaving it like flexible as situations arise, what you want them to do. Cool. Any questions or points of order as you get closer and closer to the ship? All right. Then with that, as you get up into the air, you can now see through the cockpit window this massive ship, the GGF Diplomat, that hovers ominously over this gap in the dome. As you get higher and higher, you can even just see like the top of some buildings inside. Pixie, I think, is the only one who may have seen Echo Center from this angle before, but certainly not inside of it, as there wasn't a hole in the ceiling until just recently. As you get closer, there is a crackle on the comms there.
This is the GGF. We're picking you up on our scanners. Clearance code.
And Leska responds on the comms. Yes, of course, we have our clearance code right here. As she struggles to disguise her voice, rattles off this clearance code, and a few tense moments pass, and then you get a...
Clearance code is good. Hanging off to inmate dock at Hangar Bay for Alpha. Proceed.
With that, you are given clearance. Thankfully, Leska knew the code and thankfully did not draw any suspicion to this vehicle with what was marked on it and with Pixie's smooth flying. You approach this massive ship. Where is it? Yeah, this one right over here. You can practically feel the hum of the engines of this town-sized ship here in front of you, and you pull forward into the hangar. And thankfully, you, as you pull into the hangar, you do see one person here, sort of just. Yeah, one person here, like, standing there in front of the door at attention. It is not one of the Liar Guard, but it is, like, a sort of middle ground. Liar Guard are the super SWAT tech marines. Security Force are at, you know, rent-a-cops up to, like, closer. This is, think, I keep using Star Wars references, but yeah, think of, like, the officers stationed on the Death Star. Not the super forces, but better than a rent-a-cop. Seems to be standing there with like a holstered weapon and a clipboard, sort of standing at attention, ready. How would you like to proceed?
So we're just on the ship right now.
Yes, so you have pulled into the hangar, into the dock here. You have landed the ship, unless you tell me otherwise. Landed the ship. You have not exited the ship yet. You see there is like one worker guard posted next to the door that leads into the ship proper. What do you do?
Would we have discussed with Leska ahead of time the reason that we would give for docking there? I imagine we would.
Oh.
Sure. What reason would you have?
I don't know if I missed it. Did we ever find out what the ship itself, generally, what business goes on around it aside from?
This is the equivalent of like an
holes in the dome?
aircraft. Yeah, this is the equivalent of like an aircraft carrier. This is like one of their flagships of the entire military.
So could we have just been like on a patrol or something
Sure.
and coming back?
Wouldn't we need uniforms for that, though?
Oh yeah,
I mean, I assume they have uniforms.
Yeah, I assume we'd be kicked off
Are we
immediately if we didn't
disguised?
have uniforms.
Here's what I will.
Or
I mean-
would they deal with smugglers? Would we be able to pass ourselves off as that? Are they known for dealing with smugglers?
I mean, Pixie has been in that business.
Here's what I'll
My
give
thought
you.
is, they say if you walk with purpose, if you have a clipboard, look angry, and walk around with purpose, you can get into anywhere. So,
Okay. So with what I've just rolled here, this 5. So there are 13 of you total. They were able to procure 5 Galakite uniforms. They're a little bit older. They've been holding on to these for a while. So under like direct hard scrutiny, they may not super hold up, but you have at least got like passable at a glance uniforms. You have 5 of them, and there are 13 of you. Wait. 1, 2, 4, 9. Yes, 13 of you.
is that anything that my fixer abilities would have been able to help with?
Oh. I like that. Yeah. What does being able to procure something? Sure.
I mean, maybe if I want to tie it into that early morning run I did, since I knew the plan at that point, maybe I
Sure.
could have tried to grab a couple, or like have a contact of somebody who had, maybe a tailor for the person who manufactures those.
Yeah, I like that a lot. If I can roll ability fixer, there we go. I have just defined which of the correct roll pages here. Looking at the operator, yeah, go ahead and roll the fixer, the operator roll for you, which is the fixer's ability.
Do I go to roll? Okay. How do I do that?
I think you should be able to click it. This would be if it asks you for a specific kind, it's contacts, as you mentioned. But yeah, this hasn't come up yet before, just because the bigger fixer abilities usually come in a little bit at higher rank. But yeah.
All I have in my thing right now is a thing that says like haggle, but I may not have been updating my sheet correctly. I don't know when we like level up our
that
roll
comes
abilities.
with that comes with improvement points. Takes a certain number of improvement points in order to improve your rank ability. Usually it's a little bit more expensive than skill ranks, but in any case, yeah, basically you can go ahead and do the haggle roll. That would be, I think, the quick fix here to get a number that we're looking for.
So that uses my
Yeah.
cool plus my trading. Okay. Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yep.
The more you know. All right. I wanted to. Oops, I meant to pop some luck into that, but that's okay. 23 is not too bad.
20, very good. So what I'm going to do here is, based on how well you rolled, you will roll an extra. I already gave you 5 uniforms. That's what the emissaries were able to procure. With a 23.
Or could I turn those 5 uniforms into like? I'll either take extra uniforms, or maybe the other option would be to get the like. If my contact wasn't able to get us any uniforms, could at least like give us a sketch of what the current uniforms look like.
Yeah, just like
So then I
improve
can
these uniforms. Yes.
Yeah, so
I'll give you a
our
choice.
current uniforms.
With a 23, I will give you that choice of extra uniforms or improved uniforms.
I don't. Can I consult with the team?
How many extra would we get?
I would say with a roll that high, you can roll. Let's see. Yeah, I'll say a D10 with a roll that high. You can roll a D10 and add that many uniforms or have improved uniforms, which these 5 will hold up to scrutiny. You may not, have something like the lingo or like the behavior, whatnot, but visually, even close inspection will pass if you do improved uniforms.
So we have 5, which would cover the 4 of us plus Leska. That would mean everyone else would either have to kind of stay behind or do something else or conceal themselves, or we could try, because there's 13 of us total, you said?
Yes.
Or we could potentially have extra backup, but we'd have to explain why there's 13 of us in old uniforms. So I guess it's kind of just 2 different kinds of risk, but we'd lose those extra. I don't know. I'm pretty good at lying, so why don't we say extra uniforms and take the backup?
Okay. Then if we feel good about having extra uniforms, then Bo, if you would please roll a D10.
Okay. Or I guess I'm good at persuasion. I don't know if that counts as lying, but all right. /RD10, right? For the thing.
Yep.
Okay. An extra 7.
An extra 7. So everybody, uniforms
One.
for everybody except 1.
Sorry, Carl.
It's okay.
Somebody has to stay back and man the ship anyway. So and that's like the most important job, really.
Sure. So if you would like, you can sort of spend your strike team use to have Carl and somebody else to like stay back and keep this ship secure. So have this potential escape vehicle secured.
Okay. Oh yeah, because we get command of 2 of them. Otherwise, I just don't know what else. I mean, we could take the person I have lovingly dubbed Carl. We could take him and pretend he is a prisoner, but I think it's probably a good idea to keep some people in the ship just to kind of have it ready to go so we can escape very quickly if need be. Does that sound okay to everybody? All right. Sweet.
Cool. As much as I love a good Wookiee gambit, well, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Okay. Carl Jr.
Carl 1 and Carl 2.
Carl and Carl's Jr. The Burger Boys.
Yeah, we'll stay back and man the ship. But that does mean that all of you have decent uniforms. As long as you don't sort of push it, just walking down the hallway will be unlikely to attract too much negative attention unless you go to like a really like highly secure part of the ship or something like that, or
like the bridge.
Maybe. In any case. All right. So if you all suit up in these uniforms, what do you do?
Do we all leave at once? Is that suspicious? Maybe not, because we just landed.
I think we need to find a way to maybe draw some attention, either like to another area of the ship, or get as many people as we can to, I think, the opposite end of the ship from the bridge. Maybe is kind of my thought. I'm still thinking Star Wars here of like get everyone in the airlock and then trap them in there. That's not how this ship works. Probably. But yeah, something to cause somehow, like, either that or we can go with the stealth route and just try to stealth over there. But once we get in there, they can call in all the security and then we're trapped in there.
Yeah.
So if we can draw the security somewhere else, that's my thought.
Well, you've still got three strike team maneuvers along the way, so there anything is possible. Most things are possible. All right. What do you do?
Do we have a map of the ship at all?
That was my next question.
Currently, you don't have like the full blueprint readout of the ship, but you do have where the major things are. And on a ship this size, you would figure like there's going to be some posted signage of like where some of those major things are, like the engine room or the bridge, the like crew quarters, the galley, things like that. Major points of interest are, and you like know where those are vaguely on the ship. As to where exactly which turn to take to get there, maybe not exactly. You don't have the full blueprints, but you've got the major stuff. You could acquire
there's
the
no mall
blueprints.
directory right there once we step out of the ship. Like, you are here.
You would surmise that people who are actually stationed on this probably do have some guidance on their agents. Or like, or rather than like an agent, because, you know, having military on is a smartphone, you see that this guard posted here has what looks kind of like an earpiece, ear and eyepiece that you would suspect has readout information as needed.
I have a thought. It'd be a big deception thing, but it would potentially get us maybe where we want to go, and explain why we have bad uniforms. We could do something to the effect of pretend that we are like either brand new to the regime or whatever we're calling this. We've have information that is incredibly valuable to the commander. We've been hastily brought on due to this important information, which is why they've given us these uniforms. This is all they had left. And we need to convey this information directly to the commander because it is sensitive and classified information. That's one option. I think that would involve a lot of BSing, but again, I'm got some good persuasion stuff, and I'm very cool. And then if that goes south, we can just open up a can of whoop ass. Or we could go with the other option of, I don't know, like we could kind of play dumb and just still go with, I'm just going with the kind of new recruits. We're new due to some reason, and that's why we look a little different, because they hastily gave us stuff.
Okay.
I don't know. Just try to come up with a story or a reason or a direction.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anybody else got some thoughts?
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah,
I mean,
we can group source this for sure.
I was just thinking we could like lure him into our little ship, knock him out, steal his stuff.
Oh, that's another good way to. I just don't think we'd get him out of the bridge if he's like a commanding officer. Like, he would send a, you know,
Is he alone,
an
or
assistant.
is there a detail with him, or is it just him?
This person at the door, it's just him.
Oh, it's just the guy at the door.
I mean, we could say like
He's the
there's a
doorman.
stowaway and we need his help to restrain him or something.
The guy at the door or the commander?
The guy at the door.
Oh, gotcha. I mean, can we just sleeper hold the guy at the door?
Wait, now I'm confused, both in character and out of character, which
Yes.
isn't unusual. Will the commanding officer, like, is this within? Will he see what's happening with the person at the door, or is it?
Wait,
Oh,
are there
no,
two
no.
people? I'm very
This is a
confused.
very, like, okay. Think like Star Destroyer size ship. The bridge is or like an aircraft carrier. The bridge is far away from the hangar here. There might be some kind of security feed as to that, like if you raise a ruckus in the hangar, there might be consequences of that. But no, there's like, you can't see the bridge through a window here. You will have to travel along the length of the ship to reach most anything else, whether that's the engines, the bridge, wherever you're going to, there will be some travel time.
But there's just one guy in the hangar, right?
Correct.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think we could just like
you'd imagine there
lure
will
him
be
into our ship to
forces.
get him away from.
Yeah, there will be
Get him
people
away from the
inside, but right
security
now there's just
cameras.
one person.
Yeah. So if we can get him like away from the security cameras, knock him out, steal his stuff, and then navigate to the bridge.
It's risky. It's a possibility, but it's... I mean, we'd have to take into account anybody watching the security cameras might be like, hey, where did Fred go?
Can we... I like this idea. Can we pinpoint where the security cameras are in this room?
Yeah.
And also, if we're leaving two people behind, one of them could pose as that guy.
That's a good point.
It's true.
If there's a way that I can, or somebody could, maybe Opera or somebody who's good with tech could maybe, do the thing with the security cameras where you play looping footage kind of thing.
Yes.
Do that and then
Sounds like we have a plan.
take out this guy and steal his stuff and put Carl Jr. in there or something.
Yeah, that is absolutely something that you can do. I'm not going to require a roll to spot a security cam. This is a military operation. They're not going to hide the cameras. You see, at least Jonathan doesn't think they would. You can see, up in the corner there, there is a camera that shows both the door and the hangar itself. I will say, yes, Opera is, with your tech skills and especially with your flourishing netrunner skills, you might be able to hack into that camera. I will say, being a high military grade operation and having a little distance here, not being able to like directly access it, DV is going to be a little bit tougher, but that is something that you can try. I will say, if you do well, you'll do it. If you do middling, won't be able to accomplish it. If you do very badly, that's probably going to trip some sort of trip their security system.
Right, I am putting a little bit of luck on this one. Yeah.
Come on, Opera.
Oh no.
No.
With a 2, still gets a 22.
But 23 is the DV.
Don't do that.
23 is like one of the increments because the increments move in increments of 4.
So 9, 13, 15, 17, 21, 24, 29 are the various increments. I was truly thinking like 21 as that DV, that heroic level. So a 22 does the trick. You are able to...
knife.
Yeah. Do you tell us, Opera, do we see anything as you remotely hack into this camera?
Absolutely not. Opera is a well-oiled machine, both figuratively and literally.
Okay. You see Opera stare really hard at the corner for a few moments, and then
You get the int-j stare, and then the laptop just reprograms itself.
Exactly. So you feel pretty confident that the camera is now on a loop. It will not give away anything that happens in this hangar. What do? Well played.
Can I try to persuade the... Actually, I guess we don't need to really persuade him anymore.
It still might be a good idea to craft a story just in case he
I mean, can one of us just knock him out? You got any drugs on you that can do a little put him to sleep a little bit?
No drugs on me. I have one sleep grenade, but I'd rather use that for crowd
Some-
control.
Yeah.
Opera like unfurls his sleeve. It goes.
Can I was like, would that be like a brawling check?
Not
To
me.
just,
Martial arts, because
Oh,
I
that's a good-
can't
yeah.
put people in sleeper holds. I am a judo master.
Yeah,
That's not-
that makes sense to me. That would fall under martial arts.
martial arts his ass.
Can I just walk straight up to him, and like while he's sputtering at this 7'6" robot man approaching him, just make a martial arts attack?
You're so dull. I forgot.
Sure.
Just imagine him
Opera, are you-
going.
Yeah, like kind of looking down at clipboard and then
I know, I close during the time it takes him to look upwards.
sweet.
Just squat to get him in the sleeper hole.
Are you going by yourself?
Aren't we all in the room with him?
So currently y'all are inside the ship.
Oh, sorry. My
Yeah,
brain.
currently you're inside the ship. Who are you? If you're all coming out at once to knock this guy out, then yeah.
I just wanted to watch.
Okay.
Right,
Press
Opera-
up on the glass.
So then, yeah.
Opera is
I
going
actually
in.
would stay in. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I would actually stay in momentarily, just because in case this guy wakes up, I don't want him to be able to identify all of us right away.
Fair enough. I'll say if you are in fact leaving one of your strike teams behind, then if you successfully knock this guy out, you won't need to worry about him. Cool. So Patch, you're staying behind. Bo,
I'll go with him.
going with Pixie.
I'll hang out like in the exit door of the ship, whatever
Okay.
that is called.
Sure. Yes, yeah, hanging there at the. Oh
You
wait,
know all the terms.
the like cargo bay. Yeah, like the little cargo bay door. Sure.
Cargo bay. Yeah.
I'm trying to think. What? Yeah. What?
Cargo
is it
bay is
just
what
like
they call it in KOTOR. So
Just a door?
you know.
Yeah. I literally just finished a replay of that after many years.
Such a good game.
It still mostly holds up.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Leska, I think, yeah. Leska will go with you unless you protested. So here's how I'm going to run this. So you all, like, or those of you who are exiting, waltz right up to this hangar worker. And apparently before he can even, like, open his mouth to address you, Opera, you go right in for it? Okay. I'm going to give you an attack for free. Yeah, 22 is in fact going to hit.
And I'm attempting to grab him and like choke
Sweet.
mouth.
Go for it. Yeah, you can do that. I think it is.
And to give you, I'm not entirely certain how grappling rules work, but a grab escape with judo is DV 15. A counter throw is DV 15. So like recovering from being hit is DV 13. So I get the impression that like specialized martial arts DVs tend to be a little bit lower than standard things, and if he's not attempting to evade, it seems like 22 will probably be sufficient to grab him.
Almost certainly. So yeah, I've pulled up in prepping for today, I recognized that, or I remembered / found, it's like, oh yeah, I left myself put up like the reference sheets in Foundry to help and just like forgot about that ages ago. But now I've got it pulled up. So yes, I see the grab here. So yeah, 22. So yeah, default is Dex plus Brawling skill plus D10, but having your martial arts, that makes sense to me. So your martial arts roll, I'm definitely going to give him like a -4 for surprise, but oh god, let me pull up a moot stat here real quick. Not that.
Turns out that now the new updated Foundry allows us to add a drop-down menu of core situational modifiers. And for -4 penalties, there is extremely tired, attempting tasks stealthily, smoke or darkness, and very drunk.
Amazing. Which, yeah, I pulled up my skill DV cheat sheet and the same thing, and yeah, it lists those exact scenarios as potential like minuses onto it. But I'm going
I
to
would like to think that I am only 40% less likely to succeed at things when I'm very drunk.
if only depends on which one you're talking about.
Well,
But yeah, with a 12, yeah, you absolutely managed to, let's see, grab. So you do successfully grapple, choked. Okay, use action, deal your.
there better not be like a 3.5-esque grapple flow chart we have to go through now.
Damn, this does actually look like a flowchart. But so by default, so if you're choking him out, you use your action to deal your body stat directly to a defender's HP. What is your body stat?
12.
Jesus. Okay. Here's what I'll say. So it was your action to grab here. Go ahead and make one more. So you've easily successfully grabbed. Now he's like trying to like reach up to like he's got this headset on. He seems to be like reaching up to try and activate it here, but you've got him in this chokehold. So as long as you keep him held, he is not going to be able to access it. Go ahead and roll another martial arts. Oh boy. Now he's no longer surprised, so I'm not giving him the -4, but he still has a very low chance. Yep. So that is he is
12.
half choked out. Go ahead and make one more. If this is successful, then he's going to be choked out. I say if, as if this is. Yep. So that is a 14 versus your 20. God, body of 12. That'll do it. The muscles that you patted just a moment ago that went. You hear like a machine in like a tool shop, just tightening around his neck, and very quickly you see his face goes like red, then blue, then purple, and like as his eyes bulge, and suddenly you see his eyes roll in the back of his head, and he drops. You have successfully knocked out this guard without raising the alarm.
As
without killing
Opera is
him.
like lowering him to the ground, he goes, Gute Nacht, fremd bin ich, ein gezogen.
Why is that more terrifying?
Yeah, you definitely see some of the emissaries like take just an ever so slight but noticeable step back. But yes, okay, you have secured the hangar. Yeah, you've secured the hangar here. You're leaving. Bo has chosen to use their strike team token, as it were, to look after the ship. Maybe I heard the idea tossed out a moment ago to like kind of assume this guy's position, to definitely throw off any suspicion. Up to you. But the door is now unguarded in front of you. Are we headed to the bridge?
I guess so.
Okay.
Is one of the strike team assuming the position?
You tell me?
I'm asking the others.
Yeah.
I mean, do we need it now that Opera did the loop thing?
I mean, probably not, but... Yeah, no, maybe keep them both on the ship for a quick getaway.
Okay.
We'll still steal the guy's uniform
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
and his little earpiece,
Very good, very good.
or whatever that was.
Which, I think with this guy's uniform... Yeah, with this guy's uniform, now you've got 13. There you go. You've got one of the nice uniforms, too. A current one. Okay. Yeah. All right. Able to do that. You spend a strike team token to kind of keep this hangar secure. Very good. Do any one of you four... Are you now, like, wearing this newer uniform, or do you give it to Leska? Like, where's that going?
Who do we think has the best chance of bluffing their way through this?
Bo.
Probably me, I guess.
I would think so.
I mean, I've got a persuasion of got a plus 14 to persuasion.
That'll do it.
That'll do it. Okay. In that case, sure, Bo, you slip on the newer uniform. If you're going to be the point person, that'll make maintaining you all's cover a little bit easier. Okay. Then if you've got nothing else, with Carl and other Carl staying behind, the door slides open. Oh, I got one for that.
I just
Nice.
pet the ship on the way out. Just say I'll be back for you.
You swear you hear a purr of the engine for just a moment.
Oh.
But I heard one of you say you picked up this guy's headset. Which one of you does so?
I can if no one else will.
Sounds good to me.
Okay.
Don't we want that also to be Bo? Because that also sounds like a persuasion-y thing.
Okay.
Oh, I mean, I can. Oh, yeah, that's fair. Maybe if it's
It
communicating.
is
Yeah.
fair. Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
All right. So you patch in this earpiece here, and yeah, you do get a ping as you patch in.
Well, I never was one for neighbors, but into the belly of the beast we go.
And with that, door slides open. And now that you've got this headset in, you don't have to get on the comms unless you choose to do so. But now, with this patched into your agent, now you are going to be able to navigate the ship more efficiently. While you maintain this thing now, maintain that connection with your agent, you will not need to roll to navigate. Navigate, kind of find your way around. It would have been potentially slightly difficult for particular pathways, but now you've got that edge since you have got that. So at this moment, you have a choice. Do you all stick together? Stick together heading to the bridge? Do you send strike teams off towards the weapon array or the engines? What are we doing?
How many of us are there left?
So there's the four of you, Leska, and then six more emissaries, aka 3 strike teams. Each of you has 1 strike team token that you can use to make them go off and do a thing to help with this operation.
That is a lot of people to bring to the bridge. So maybe
If one of our failure states for dealing with Admiral von Mustache is destroying their guns, or at least limiting their ability to use their guns, destroying technology sounds like an Opera thing. So Opera would be happy to take a strike team and split off for the gun room.
Okay. Yeah.
Honestly, I mean, if he can find his way the magazine and sabotage some of the ammunition that would go into it, make it blow up like Elmer Fudd's hunting rifle when they next try and shoot it.
Interesting. Okay. I like that idea. I will also throw out, as you sort of take stock and whatnot, you now having the layout of the ship. Points of interest, obviously, the bridge, the weapons array, the engine room. Something that sticks out that Leska sort of points out / expresses interests in. You see the brig. It seems like they have a place for prisoners there. And Leska pipes up, if there's... This is not the top priority, but if there are people in there that we can get out, whether they're some of ours or not, enemy of our enemy is a friend, right? I will leave the decision
For now.
up to you all, though.
Bo is good at making friends.
Yeah.
I know we're all like, we've got 4 different tasks, and Bo is perfect for all of them.
So,
I mean-
infiltration being the face? Anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you do?
I guess I'm just a little okay. So what do we need to do in this moment?
Potentially, actually, if we want to maybe delegate and make it harder for them to foil all of our plans, because we've got a handful of different ways to succeed here. Opera could head for the magazine with a strike team. Patch, since you are a doctor and able to get people back on their feet, maybe that makes sense for you to go to the prison with a strike team, because, I mean, it stands to reason that people in the prison, it's not just like, be my friend, great, now you're a super soldier. It is, oh, they haven't fed you this week. So maybe, Patch would make sense if we want to divide, not make Bo do everything. And then obviously getting to the bridge sounds like Pixie all day.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
no, I'm fine with that.
Splitting the party, I love it by default. Unless you tell me otherwise, I will have your respective strike teams follow you. Where would you like Leska to go? She is leaning towards the bridge since that is plan A, but
So plan B was the destroying the engine room, right?
yes.
Okay.
I would guess that the reward, I know, to meta speak, but that, like, the advantage we would gain from liberating some of the prisoners would be maybe we have another strike team that we can delegate to a task. So that could be something that could be worth doing before we sort of storm the bridge.
Possibly.
And do we have method of communication? Are we still able to use our
Our
agent?
agents, right?
Yeah.
But is that like a secure private communication, or is that something that they can pick up the signals of?
I
Well,
think
now since we have Humphrey Bogart, we have private iPhones.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Oh,
I love that so
I
much.
forgot the glasses. Imagine there were glasses. Okay. Yeah, and also, like, out of contact, Leska will pipe up to, as you discuss this, like, given that they have their own internal communications, I don't think that would be something that they would monitor by default, agents up here. So I would imagine is probably fine. And do you not already sort of protect your communications? You really should. Which Bo certainly does, because I know you've got the Scrambler Descrambler, but in any case, at this moment in time, you will not need to worry about your communications being intercepted, because why would they?
Jonathan, if we're working on maybe separating the party here, do you mind if I take a 2-second break?
Sure. Yeah, we can.
I'll be back very, very fast.
Okay. Very good. So, it sounds like, yeah, Opera may be taking strike team towards the like weapons array. Patch may be splitting off towards the prison to maybe help revive some of them. Pixie sounds like being towards the bridge. And what are you thinking, Bo?
I'm not.
I think default here might be heading towards the bridge, since that's your.
Just direct
Current-
beeline for it.
You tell me. You can.
Where
You can go
where
to
are
make-
all of these? Where are all of these things in relation to each other?
Sure.
Like,
Is
is the engine room near the brig, or anything like that?
Let me do a quick Google. Got it. We'll call the hangar where you are. Kind of, you came in from the side, but you're functionally in like the middle of the ship. The engine room, going to be towards the back, as you might imagine. Bridge is going to be kind of up and forward. Brig and weapons array are both going to be on lower decks. I will say that the weapons array is the main weapons array is going to be more lower forward, and brig is going to be lower aft. So let's do some quick yeah, I'll do a quick doodle here. So for both y'all's sake as well as the stream's sake, let's peel over here. As we're back on the loading screen, I'm just going to up here do a quick doodle. So with that, draw freehand. This lovely rectangle of a ship. This floating coffin here. So you are here in the middle. The engine room is going to be, yeah, like up here. Yikes. E's are hard, apparently. So yeah, you are... Boundary, cooperate with me, please. There we go. So you are here. Engine. Up here. Brig. Down here. Weapons array. And then finally the bridge. I'll put a circle around the B in the front so we know that's the bridge, not the brig, because they're both B's. But
And I'm assuming this is a cross-section view, not a top-down view?
correct. Yes. Good distinction. This is, yeah, straight on cross section.
As soon as you put the bridge up there, I was like,
Yes. So that's sort of the rough schematic, rough map. They're all, there are certain paths that you can take, but yeah, that's how I imagine the general layout here.
So we have one strike team left. Is that right? That's
You've currently got 3.
Assigned to...
So one
right,
strike
but
team
we
is...
have one going to the weapons array with Opera, and we have one going to the brig with Patch, right? So we have a third that's not currently assigned to anything?
Correct.
Okay. So maybe we should send them to the engine room as a backup in case things don't go well.
Yeah.
And then they can blow the engine room.
So would that leave Bo going by themselves to the bridge? Which, I mean, is fine.
Well, Pixie would be with you. And
okay, because
we
only have the one. We only have the... Oh, okay, so we've got 3 of us.
Yeah. And here's what I'll ask you. You've all, you're patched in with your agents, your communication, so even if you split up, you will be able to communicate with each other, likely. I will leave the timing up to you all. If everything goes smoothly, which is a big if, then you might even be able to accomplish these tasks, and then meet back up for the bridge. If things go sideways, then it's going to take some time to reconvene, and the alarm will be raised. So that is sort of the pros and cons of splitting up here. But that being said, yeah, it is a good point that has been made that if you all go together everywhere, not only will it be slower, but it is more conspicuous.
I would also say that the alarm being raised if one of us trips it is potentially kind of a mixed blessing, in that it would likely distract from the other people's tasks.
Yeah.
So Opera, who is not especially persuasive, if he were to, int J his way down to the weapons array before being, picked out for the weirdo he is, would at least take some of the pressure off the brig and the engines while y'all are doing those.
Mm-hmm.
And we're still trying to get him, the commander, to come with us peacefully if possible, is the first plan.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well then, yeah, I'm gonna, with Leska and Pixie, I'm gonna pull out the most official looking clipboard I can find, look real upset about something, and just start walking.
Perfect.
Oh, wait.
Excellent. We are going to make this ship go down like Comet on a first date.
Oh, hang on a second. Gonna pull Bo aside and give him... I restocked my smoke grenades. I will give Bo one and just say, use it wisely.
Thanks.
Or if not wisely, use it with style.
Oh, I always.
I know you do.
Okay. Love to see it. Sounds like we've got a plan here. Now on the clock, we're moving at a pretty decent clip here. We've got time to resolve some of this. Love to see it. So, I'm going to, for now, save the bridge for later. We're sending... So one strike team is going to... I'm going to write this down. So currently we have... We'll call it Strike Team Carl. It's in the hangar.
Burger Boys.
We've got Strike Team, we'll say, Alpha. Going to the engines. I know how to do this. We've already named Strike Team Bo / Carl, staying in the hangar. Strike Team, we'll say Strike Team Pixie is going to the engine room. We've got Strike Team Opera going accompanying to the weapons array. And Strike Team Patch going with to the brig. I believe that's yep. What about also? I should probably spell the correct kind of hangar. It's with an A. Anyways. Okay, with all this in mind, I'm going to say for now, not bridge first. Do we want to resolve brig or weapons array first? Actually, unless y'all feel strongly about it, I'm going to suggest brig first.
I was going to suggest that because it gives us another team to potentially put into play as we're going
Exactly.
Yeah, I want to find out who's there.
Who's to say? So you all have your assignments and you split here. Leska nods at all this, reinforces these assignments, and then walks with Bo and Pixie towards the bridge. So Patch, you head down the hallway towards the brig. You do pass some people in the hallways here. These long, again, like military sparse hallways, and excuse me. Since they've got their business here, so at least at the moment, people walk past you without accosting you. And then you make your way to the brig, following the signage and the planned pathway there. You do see as door slides open into the main brig area. Again, it was not exactly intentional going into this, but the Star Wars metaphors just keep coming in super handy. Imagine it's sort of like the central office there, like in New Hope when they sneak into the brig section. So you've got this desk here. You see hallways that pan out and just can make out some cells here, and of course there are two operators here behind the desk. And as you enter, they look up and... Yes? What is it?
Just checking the status of the prisoners here. I was informed that one of them may be suffering from a medical issue.
Medical issue? I mean, they're all fine.
I just go where they send me.
Yeah. I think this is a very believable thing, and on a ship this big, you know, wires get crossed. Go ahead and make a persuade roll. I'm gonna give you... I am going to lower the DV here, so go ahead and make a persuade roll.
Okay, definitely going to use some luck here, because God knows I need it.
Sorry, let me...
Not my strongest suit.
Alright. Yeah. So 15 is listed as... Oh, I forgot we were on this page. On this... Yeah, don't worry about it. There we go. That's better. 15 is listed as a difficult DV, which this seems to this is... Yeah, I think DV... I should probably be better about calling out DVs ahead of time. But 15, I think, is just enough to be like... Get an annoyed... I swear, they're all fine. That was in our reports. They really gotta be better about sending these reports. Which one they say they needed medical attention?
You really think they were going to be specific? They said, get your ass down here.
Fair enough. Fine. One of them stands up from the desk to kind of like walk you down, escort down the hallway here, like inspecting each of these cells. And most of these cells, the people seem like fine enough. Maybe not like... Now, they're not exactly in a luxury hotel, but they are like, yeah, these sparse cells here. You see these energy fields closing them off. It all seems... You don't recognize them, any of them, until you sort of double take for a moment. It takes you a moment to recognize them. You see Shaw Rosenmaker, the gardener, in one of these cells.
I knew it.
They are just sort of like laying on their side, staring into nothing here, so they don't... He does not really, like, register you, especially disguised as you are.
Yeah, the one that's leading me, I'll say, hold up. This one doesn't look normal.
What? It looks fine to me, but whatever. You're the doctor. Sure. He reaches down to his belt and like swipes it over a scanner, and you see the field drops. He pulls out like a stun baton here, just like has it at the ready in case he tries something. And this is when you definitely see the gardener. He definitely doesn't have his glasses, but I'm going to use them for differentiation anyway. So he looks up and... Wait. Hello. You see his like eyes widen as he recognizes you, but is not dumb enough to give you away at this second.
She just like very subtly shakes her head like, and
what have I done? Am I in trouble?
I was sent to check over the prisoners that seem to be sick, and you just seem like there was something wrong with you, so sit tight and let me check.
Well, Yes, have been feeling a little under the weather lately. And like gives some fake offs. Yeah, you know that they're clearly fake to you, but he's trying. All right, what do you do?
Is he the only one in that cell?
Yes, these are single cells.
All right. Next question. Are there security cameras in the cell?
I think this... You did clock some cameras. I don't think that there is a camera in each individual cell, but there are kind of like in the hallway there that are pointed such that they can see the hallway and into like a couple of cells each. It's not perfect vision, but there's a lot of cells in here. This is a big ship, so... And this doesn't appear to be like the high security section of the brig, so they've got some coverage. So I would say for your particular position, there is one camera that definitely can see this area. There may be like one other camera that kind of overlaps in the hallway a little bit, but not in the cell. Make sense?
Okay. I think so. So basically, what goes on inside the cell?
Inside the cell,
won't
there's
be-
one camera that can catch what goes on the cell. If you were to like go into a back corner, you might be able to, or like turn your back to the camera. It might be that you can hide a little bit.
Okay. All right. So let me turn back to the guy with the stun baton. Let's say. Okay, yeah, so there's something wrong with this one. I'm about to put my hands where the sun don't shine, so if you don't want to see this person's dangly bits, you probably want to give us some privacy here.
Yeah, sure.
You
If
can
try-
watch the show if you want, but
I really don't. I really don't.
yeah, I don't blame you.
If he tries something, give a shout. But otherwise, yeah, go nuts. I mean,
You got it.
Go to.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
And he doesn't like move a long distance away, but he like takes a step forward and turns his back.
Okay. And would I know at this point which corner to head to so we're out of the camera angle?
Yeah.
Or would I not know that?
I mean, yeah, I'm not trying to lock like everything behind a roll, especially if it's pretty obvious which angle it is. You think you can? You think that you can get away with a little bit in one of the back corners?
Okay. I will look directly at the gardener and angle my eyes towards that corner and head over there.
Okay. He. No need to tell him twice. He's following your lead.
Well, I'd ask what happened to you, but I think I know.
Yes. I have to say I'm a little surprised to see you. What? I can't imagine you're here just for me. But
I don't think we knew you were here, but
appreciate it
found you.
nonetheless. Yes, me as well. And yeah, this guy, every time you've seen him, has been like immaculately presented himself. This is the first time that you have seen him like disheveled, hair a bit of a mess. He's, this isn't necessarily like the gulag, so he is, apparently allowed bathing. You'd suspect he's not in that bad shape yet, but yeah, bare clothes, no glasses, no tech, no style for certain, and looks a little bit haggard for sure. Seems to have aged since you last saw him, but So what do we do?
Well, ideally, the captain's not going to be the captain anymore.
I like the sound of that.
Less ideally, this place is going to become a lead balloon.
I
Still,
like
yeah,
the sound of that as long as we're not still in said lead balloon.
that is true. Now that I know you're here, I'm assuming you'd work with us.
Yeah, that would be a correct assumption.
And I should say, out of character, like, I'm at this point, I don't think Patch is too terribly surprised by seeing the disheveled appearance, both in, like, because in the past she's dealt with, like, higher-ups and elites in their less than stellar moments when they needed patching up, as it were.
That's fair.
But I think she also caught glimpses of Beau's relationship with the gardener and seeing that not quite the asshole he pretends to be. So, yeah, so she's going to lean in a little bit and ask, what can you tell me about this ship? Like, have you heard anything? Is there any weak points in, like, personnel, machinery, anything we can exploit?
I'm sorry, I'm a businessman. This is a little bit out of my pay grade. But I believe there are some, well, what's the word that Jonathan is looking for? I mean, traders, but not exactly trade. There are some people who are conscripted people who dissented with some of the methods that they employed here in elsewhere in the brig. I think if you were able to perhaps bring some of them, they might have more useful information than I do.
Okay. You wouldn't happen to be able to point them out, would you? I can go looking for them if I have to. It just might take longer.
I am merely passing along what I've heard. I'm afraid I can't identify them.
That is fine. That's completely fine. I have a strike team, don't I? I have two people with me?
Yeah.
I'm gonna call out to them loud enough for this other guy with the stun baton to hear. Hey, I don't want to be here all day, so why don't you go check out the others, see if any of them are sick as well. But, I mean, obviously Pax would tell them what they're really looking for.
Okay. It makes sense that, like, you would have communications open with the strike teams as well, if you choose to do so. So, yeah, they're not
with me.
They are with you, but, like, you know, were they standing close enough to hear all this go down? And so,
Okay.
point being, like, they get the message. Yeah. In this case, I'm going to say. So you want them to like look around, see if they can identify, kind of, again, like deserters. What's the word I'm looking for? Insubordinates. Yes.
Oh.
That's I think the word I'm looking for. Like these insubordinates. Yeah. Let's see. Would that be? I'm trying to think if there is any other skill that would apply here besides perception. Streetwise, not exactly. Yeah, I think that. I think is or did. Okay. I will let you roll for this patch since they're the strike team with you. Perception or deduction.
My deduction's a little better, so I'm gonna try that.
Okay.
Ooh. Nope, not gonna work. Okay.
Okay. So here's what I'll give you. They all look the same to the strike team, so they're going to kind of try at random. Go ahead and make just a straight D10 luck check for me. If you get with a critical failure, if you get a 9 or 10, this is a tougher left check, but if you get a 9 or 10, that will be a like enabled military knowledged strike team that you might be springing. Otherwise, who knows?
Nope.
Bummer. A 6. With a 6, they come back and report that there are two more people that say they look sick, but they at least privately can convey that they're not confident that they are military. Out of character, we know that they're not, but you do have a strike team in a sense that you can potentially recruit.
Okay. I feel like my options are limited here. Okay, I'm gonna... Is the gardener wearing anything, aside from... okay. Is the gardener wearing his normal outfit or anything resembling it, or is it literally like a jumpsuit, or is there anything that he can hide something on his person?
Depending on the size, like he could probably slip something under his jumpsuit.
She's the grenade girl.
Handing him a grenade. Okay. That, I think, is also a small enough transfer that you should be able to, like, body block that from the camera. So I'm not going to make you roll for that. I am going to do a conceal reveal object here, though, for the gardener, see how well he's able to secret this way. Also, what kind of grenade is this?
That's an excellent question. I've been bouncing back and forth between a smoke grenade and a flashbang because flashbangs are just so much fun. You know what? I'm gonna ask the gardener. What do you think you'll get more use out of if you need to use this to escape? Do you want smoke to conceal you, or do you want flashbang to distract them?
Probably the flashbang. If we come up against any sort of Harrier resistance, flashbang may help. A smoke, well, at least for a Liar Guard, smoke may not do that much. They've got imaging technology.
Good to know. And done. She will slip him a flashbang.
Hell yes. Okay. Just gonna make it. What the?
Girl's got grenades for days.
Love to see it. So let me make a... I'm actually going to make this a... I'm going to roll privately to I know how to do this. So I'm going to go here. And back to there. I will note the results of his conceal object check to see how well he has hidden this grenade.
And actually, as I'm giving it to him, I'm going to try and use my agent for reach out to the others.
Sure.
Guess who I found?
Someone who can help, I hope.
The gardener
Oh shit.
in the brig.
What?
So no.
He has a. I get. Oh,
So you found a dead weight, did you?
ouch!
I'm just glad he's not dead.
Are we in some kind of old mansion? Because I think you've just found a dumb waiter.
Good lord.
Jokes aside,
Nice one there.
he might help us. He will help us.
Oh yeah. Yeah. As you say that, yeah. I would say that those bridges are pretty crispy at this point. So, anything I can do to help, which not exactly military, but anything I'm able to, I would love to help. Especially if it means me not being here anymore.
I'm worried though that if we, I mean, I want to get him out. I don't want him to, I want to save him if we can. But
I want to get him out too.
But I'm worried if we take him out right now, it's going to trigger some problems.
You want him to wait?
Can we set him up with some way to I don't know. Can we
I
set
gave
him
him
up?
a flashbang.
Yeah, I mean but if he's locked in there, we need to get it. Well, if on our way out, there's some way that we could shut down whatever is keeping any folks locked in there. I mean, I would love to get everybody out of the brig before, if we can, but
Me too. There's a lot of people here though.
yeah, maybe let's find a way. Let's do mission number 1, which is get the commander, and then or whatever we're calling our operation, to be super secretive about it. But let's stick with our number 1 job, and then if we can get him, or if we can't, either way, let's shut down the electronics in this thing, and that should open up all the cells. And then if Sean is, well, if he's as smart as I remember, he'll know what to do with that flashbang, and he can try to meet us at the ship.
I mean, the bridge would probably have an override, right? So one of us in there could probably open the doors.
That's a good point. I like that.
Okay.
If all else fails, I have 1 EMP.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking, with the current plan, I was hoping we could kind of stealthily get the commander to come with us without alerting everyone else on the ship that he is, I'm planning to be pretty secretive about it, so that they're just going to think he is leaving of his own accord to go take care of something real quick, and he'll be right back.
It's a tall order.
Yeah, but I don't know if I'd be able to do that and have one of us override everything. But if he doesn't come quietly and we end up in a shootout, then that's the other way to get everybody. I don't know.
Either way, we're shutting this down, right?
Yeah, I don't want anybody to get hurt. I don't want any unnecessary civilians to get hurt.
Yeah.
But
No.
Well, maybe Opera could hack it before we leave. If we do manage to sneak out, maybe that could be our fallback, is that we override it ourselves.
or we could try to put one of the Carls on it, since they're just kind of hanging out in the ship right now.
True.
We can probably figure this out when I'm not inside the cell. I just
Hey,
wanted to let you know
jangly
he's
bits,
here.
Yeah, no,
jangly
that's fair,
bits or
that's fair,
not,
good
how
point.
long is this gonna take?
Just a couple minutes more, I promise.
What?
You sure you don't want to watch the show?
Are you talking about
I'm only
dangly-
charging 5 silver for it.
Are you talking about dangly bits over there? What are you guys doing?
I'll tell you later.
At this
Bye.
point, he like
Oh,
turns
damn it.
around. He's not. He's like kind of like avoiding his gaze in case there are dangly bits out. But he's like, "In a couple minutes." Like, what?
Almost done.
His dangly bits are fucked.
Just telling the gardener. Hold on to that. You'll know when to use it.
I like to think that part of the
I'm making you-
conversation is. I like to think that what you just said is what the last thing that guy hears.
Yeah, you get like a. Well, hurry it up. I'm got
We're
a
done.
lot of duties to get to. You're done? Okay, good,
We're
great.
done.
So he's fine.
I mean, he's gonna be sore for a couple of weeks, but yeah, he'll be fine after that.
All right. Well, so we're done here.
Gonna look at the other two, on the strike
Alright.
force. Did you say the others seemed sick or not really? Talk to me here.
With their confidence level here, they relate like a. They look like they could be sick, but they might survive. Depends. Basically, like they're relaying to you their confidence level that these are useful military people, which is low.
Gotcha. Then yeah, I'll tell the guy with the stun baton. Looks like we're done here for now. They may call me down here later, but gods, I hope not.
All right. And when you go back, will you tell them to like tell us anything? Fill out the damn form. Like, why do we have the forms if we don't use them? Whatever.
I
Fine.
hear that.
Okay.
When do they ever tell us anything?
Tell me about it. Okay. So you've given Shaw this flashbang here. He recloses the cell. And before we pan over, so where are you headed now, Patch?
I'm headed out of the brig. Is there any... Did I pass any vestibule or alcove or something on the way to the brig?
On the way to the brig? Yeah, sure.
Alright, yeah, I'm gonna pop into one of them and get back on the agent. Alright, brig is done for now. Anyone need some extra hands? I'll go back to the hangar if you need to stay out of sight. If you need me to stay out of sight, but otherwise, I'm open.
Probably good to have somebody on retainer to like book it or get to another space if we need, I guess.
Or maybe make your way up to the bridge. At least be nearby in case things go to shit and we need more firepower.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah, Leska chimes in. Yes, the bridge is not exactly small. There are likely to be operators in addition to the commander, so if you are still undetected, perhaps let us regroup.
Alright.
Okay. Cool. Let's, I think, look at the clock. Let's see if we can address Opera's operation, and then see where that leads. If everything goes smoothly, then we will handle the bridge encounter next time. Yes, so Opera, you're able to make your way to the weapons array, the both down and for the ship here. Yeah, down, up. Starboard, port, aft, for Is there a like nautical term for
Upwards,
up and down?
upwards.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. Yeah, lower for there to the weapons array. When you like walk through here, you see sort of these like clear, this open bay here, this like just big bomb bay, weapon bay. You see that there are some energy shielded, almost what look like windows with these just massive cannon barrels sticking through them. You see that there's plenty. They didn't use the bomb bay door exactly. They were just using the cannons, but you do see some, let's say, very major ordnance here in the bomb bay with the bomb bay doors. These things are massive, and I would say you know tech well enough, Opera, to know that these are like mini fusion bombs, basically. This is like the Gallic flagship. They've got all the big guns on this, quite literally. You see that there are like people at stations. There are people running back and forth, sort of like changing out energy cells after the bombardment. Still, like, they unleashed a lot here. For now, in this flurry of activity, no one like accosts you yet, but you feel like, you know, having people standing about in this activity is likely to draw its own attention. What do you do?
So you're describing a bomb bay. In my mind, I had the idea that there were like cannons that were used to project these things.
Yes.
Is it literally just a bomb bay, or is this a magazine that feeds into cannons?
Yeah. Apologies if I didn't describe it well enough. So, like, in the middle there, yeah, is the bomb bay with the ordnance, but like on the sides there, sort of pointing down through those energy shields, are the cat cannon barrels. Like, there are guns in here as well.
And are the, do the cannons chamber themselves, or do they need to be like World War II battleship turrets? Do they need to have, like, manually load the shells into them?
The second one. So that was what I was mentioning, like people running around, like changing out the energy cells. That's kind of the
energy
equivalent.
cell equals
yes.
The ammunition for these cannons.
Correct.
Then I would like to go over to a team who appear to be in the middle of reloading, like the next round into a cannon. Say, wait, are you trying to get us all killed?
What? No. What are you? Who are you? Wait. Who are you?
Do you not even see what it is you two dimwits are holding in your hand?
The energy cell? What? Yeah.
And what kind of energy cell?
The...
Come on, today.
The neutron bombardment cells?
Yes. Oh my god, what is they teaching of us? Fortune cookies? Look, and I'm gonna slap it and say, do you think that's going to fire?
They, like, react, like, it's like, what the hell are you doing? Don't hit the I think it can go off. It can go off, right? It can go off.
Not when you load it like that, it can't. What, do you want to just drop essentially the equivalent of an outhouse's worth of neutronium on top of somebody? No, we want a boom, don't we?
Well, yeah.
Well, give me a moment and my associates will make sure that this will fire like you wouldn't believe.
Okay. So, tell me what it is you're trying to accomplish here.
I'm attempting to use technobabble to browbeat them into thinking that they're about to load a bad shell into the thing, so they'll give me the opportunity to fix it.
Interesting. Okay.
I'm essentially trying to, like, Bavarian fire drill my way to rigging this energy cell to blow up when it's fired.
Okay. Let me think about this for a moment. I think go ahead and make a persuasion check for me. I'm going to say your technobabble is going to counterbalance the fact that there is this giant, heavily modified person here in front. Like, people have like, some cybernetics. Some of it is pretty standardized. You are anything but standardized here. So,
Bespoke. Thank you.
you are bespoke, exactly. So, in order to smoothly pull this off, go ahead and roll persuasion. I'm going to say on this one, that's going to be...
I mean, I in for a penny. You can decide what the DV is. I'm putting all of my remaining luck into this.
Okay. This is going to be DV...
Never tell me the odds.
I'm going to say this is a DV20.
Oh, well, this isn't going well.
Oh no.
Oh, it rolled off the 10.
It did roll off that 10. 14. They do is they say, well, look, pal, I don't know if this is your first day on the beat, but if there's something wrong with the munition, then we need to alert the foreman. And they start to like flag down somebody who seems to be kind of overseeing the operations here.
Well, I didn't want to do this, and I'm just going to unshoulder my rifle and point it directly at the neutron shell.
Okay.
Behold, the moment where everything went to hell.
And you
Hey,
see
either way, I succeed at my task.
you see that these couple of people here immediately freeze. The person who they were like trying to flag like turns and
You're doing
looks
just
over.
fine. You were scratching your nose.
What the hell do you think you're doing?
I am saving this ship from your incompetence, because if you load that into the cannon as it is, you might as well be the one pulling the trigger shooting it.
Okay. God, okay. I think with pulling a weapon here and like brandishing it at the, at the show, what have you, you see that like the foreman, as they call them, which wouldn't be called foreman on a ship, but I'm calling them a foreman. It's my fantasy world. The foreman here, you see, like puts up a finger to this like headset here. It's not you all don't hear like a full alarm going off, but Opera, go ahead and make a perception check. I know you've got super cyber ears. I don't know if you have the same hearing tech that Bo does, but go ahead and give me perception, either perception or lip reading, to see if you know what he's saying.
It is.
You don't see, you don't see, you do not hear what he says into his communicator, but then he steps forward. Look here, son. For everybody's sake here, you want to lower that weapon. You want to tell me what the hell it is you're doing?
I am trying to prevent these incompetent people from loading an obviously defective energy cell into the cannon.
And you thought the proper way to do that was to level your rifle at it?
They were about to put it into the chamber.
The other two speak up. No, we were just trying to double check. If there was something wrong with it, we want to double check. And oh god. Yeah.
And the DM says, "Oh god."
Then you see the foreman kind of takes a closer look at you, sees your bespoke nature. Son, when exactly did you join our ship? This is not how we do things here.
So now we're going to get into a resume competition. Why don't you prove that you know what you're talking about? And meanwhile, I will simply rely on the fact that Commander Vixra wants me to make sure that your operation does not send this ship crashing down on top of these miserable, foul-fetid, echo-centered fellas.
I don't know what backwater you came from. Probably this one. I'm in charge here. And he like points at the like rank thing on his shoulder. If you don't lower your rifle right now, we're gonna have a problem. We already do, but we're gonna have a worse one.
How far away from me is he standing?
He's standing
what is
about
the relative organization of me, the two people holding this shell, and this guy?
So at this point, the shell people are pretty close to you. They're like one square away from you. If they've taken a step back, and like when you pointed a weapon at this shell, the foreman is about like probably like 10 feet away from you, or like two squares away from you. And as this sort of situation is getting some attention, you see that like more of the workers here in this weapons array start like looking and seeing that something is amiss. So you are definitely pulling some attention. I will say that at this point, at this point, I would say, Bo and Pixie, your position, like kind of heading towards the bridge. You do see like some, just like a small squad of Liar Guard headed down the hallway past you. Yeah. So that's what you see.
So he was, pulling rank on me, etc., etc.
Yes,
okay.
correct.
Oh, and so what you're telling me is that, if Mr. Big Shot vis the Chevrons wasn't here, this whole operation would go to shit.
If Commander Vixra has a problem with the way I run things, I'm pretty sure that he would tell me directly. Lower the weapon, son.
Well, maybe I'll have better luck with your second in command. I'm gonna shoot him.
Okay.
Hey, when you
Yeah.
fail a persuasion check, sometimes the
Sometimes
only
you
way
just gotta
out is
shoot
through.
someone.
Okay. So I think that is where we are going to call it here. Here as a pause, as
Hell yes,
Patches.
run and gun next session.
Yeah, Patch is headed back. Bo and Pixie, we'll figure it out. And Opera, yes, we'll figure out how this all shakes out there in the weapons array. Yeah, we're gonna put a pause as things start going down.
I imagine Patch just walking down the corridor because you said it was on the same level, right? It's just one was aft and one was forward.
Yeah.
Unloaded. And Patch is like, I wonder if Opera needs help. Nah, I'm sure he's fine.
Yeah. If y'all are keeping your comms open, then all of you are very aware that you all have that oh shit moment. But yeah, that actually makes a lot of sense. So Patch, we can say that like you're head towards the bridge, but given that it's like diagonally, you can like head towards the weapons array and then up. So maybe we'll just have a 2 split rather than.
Mm-hmm.
In any case, great. Oh boy, yeah, things are getting hot and spicy here in Act 3, and that's the way that we like it. I did directly ask y'all last time to keep me on my toes, and well, you have succeeded in that. I love it. So, yep, that's where we're going to call it here. Thank you all for watching, whether you're live in the audience or watching the VOD. Usual attributions here as we re-wrap things up. All the music and voice, the voice mods were all done by VoiceMod. The sound effects were a combination of VoiceMod and Tabletop audio, and the background music was Tabletop audio. Excuse me. And the map that we saw briefly, that was Solution Maps. Thank you again for that. They've continued to have very good Cyberpunk maps. And of course, we can't forget about our sponsor, Arkenforge. Thank you so much to Arkenforge. If you want to, those watching, if you want to dive into playing as well. Oh, come on, computer. You can handle a Word document, computer. There we go. If you are tuning in and you're like, yeah, I'd like to run some games as well, but gosh, what do I even use? Well, Arkenforge Virtual Tabletop is the all-in-one toolkit for game masters to run games in person or online. Maps, music, tokens, and more. And Arkenforge comes with a 28-day free trial and is the engine behind Quelmar campaigns like the Beggar's Bodega, as well as our spiritual predecessor to this campaign, Get Submodule, the Paranoia campaign, which, by the way, is on the YouTube VOD. You can use the code the Quelmar Forge for $5 off your purchase of the Master's Toolkit today. There we go. Of Arkenforge, which is going to be everything base that you will need to run your game, particularly if you want to do a hybrid play, have a TV screen here at your in-person game in particular is very well suited for that, but is useful if you just useful no matter what kind of virtual tabletop that you need. Very good. That is, I think, the biz there. So let's go around the horn as usual. Go ahead and plugs, if any. Plugs if you got them. Roses and stars. So Rose, shout out to a fellow player here, something that you thought was very cool. Star, what you are looking forward to / want to see more of here. And yeah, that. I'm going to roll a d4 spice. Actually, if someone knows that they want to go first, go ahead and raise your hand, and then popcorn to somebody else who isn't me, because I'm going last. I see Angela's hand raised. Yes.
Yeah, I can go. So Rose's fantastic flying on Pixie's part. That was amazing to just land everything just so smoothly and get us in there without, being detected. That was awesome. Bo, there was a lot, but mostly the getting the uniforms for everybody except Carl. Poor Carl, but Carl can stay on the ship. Opera for channeling his inner patch with the shotgun, and basically getting ready to blast this guy into space. And Jonathan for going along with everything that happened in the break.
Hey, love to see shenanigans where you got them. All right, go ahead and popcorn to somebody.
Star, I just want to see what happens next session, because I'm pretty sure it's going to be, whatever it is, it's going to be exciting. And I will popcorn over to Matthew because he is on my right on my screen.
Perfect.
Sure. So no plugs. I would say Rose, for me, definitely went to Angela for patch role-playing. I want to see Angela play a high charisma character, to have the roles to mechanically back up the badass, bulletproof RP that we saw. Even knowing that she is in character not especially persuasive or not designed to be persuasive, no matter how bumblingly someone delivered those, devastating reads, I would just not question their authority, regardless of their technical inability to make a point.
Yeah.
I thought the dialogue was so sharp, it was so snappy, it was so convincing. I really enjoyed that role play in the brig.
Mm-hmm.
Star thing I'm looking forward to is Jonathan canonically establishing the position and relative distance of the three people in front of me, because I don't think I've ever used my underslung shotgun before.
Ooh. Yeah, I will stick, pun I guess intended, to stick to my guns on what I said the positioning was going to be. I was thinking for more martial arts stuff, but
maybe eventually, but there's a lot of people in here.
You said the magic words underslung shotgun. Love that. Okay. Very good. Popcorn to somebody else.
Let's go to Ashley.
Okay. My rose was also for Angela, because you had some really great lines this time. And I wish I had written this one down at the beginning, but you said something about like you gave my brother hope when I couldn't, and I'm totally butchering that because it was much more beautiful than that. I really love that. And then the dangly bits in the brig was great. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then my star is just I can't wait for the chaos next time. It's gonna be great.
Very good. And then last but not least.
And then
Yeah, I kind of, you guys took the words right out of my mouth. I was gonna say the role play, so good. I absolutely loved all of that in the brig. It's excellent. And I second wanting to see you play a high charisma character. That is going to be chef's kiss. And also Rose to Opera for the admittedly groan-worthy, but also just yummy, delicious puns. So good.
Always.
And yeah, and Pixie for just being a badass, like just in general, but also with the flying and just I'm also just really excited. This feeds into my thing I'm looking forward to, which is getting in that bridge, not brig. I keep getting them confused.
Yep.
Bridged, and either being super sly, stealthy, or kick and tush. I don't know, whatever happens. Super excited for that. I'm living out my Star Wars fantasies. It's gonna be great.
Yeah.
And also I loved too that the gardener's not dead. Yay! And that was a fun surprise. So Rose for Jonathan too. That was an unexpected surprise. I loved it.
Yeah, he got busted for something. I wonder what that could be. But yes,
he's a good guy. I knew it.
So with so then yes, throwing to me here, Rose Bay. It is going to be yes a general rose to our team here, to the crew. I threw a lot at you. You didn't necessarily know that you would need to like plan and execute a infiltration onto a major airship, but you rolled with the punches there, and we got through we ran at a great clip tonight. We got through a lot. We went from going to the headquarters of the emissaries to like most of the way through a mission already. Love it. And then yeah, I'm going to, that's the general rose, specific rose. Yeah, I'm going to, I did love the moment Bo going back to the neon garden to make the mural. I really like that. And then yeah, Patch for being like very believable, so sick of this bullshit like medical worker on the ship. Yeah, there's a reason why I had like one pretty low DV persuasion and then let that slide for the rest of it, like the dangly bits. I'm like, yeah, he wouldn't really have a lot of reason to question that. So like I didn't make you roll for that, just like turn around like, all right, I don't need to see that. So yeah, genuinely great dialogue there. As far as Star goes, yeah, echoing here, but yes, I am just as interested to see where this all goes as you are, particularly with Opera there in the bay. But you know, the bridge may or may not be a cakewalk ultimately as well. In any case, so that is all of this. Last thing is just a couple of shout outs. I did put it in the description for the VOD from last time, the shout out that I just, memory blanked on, but for Janelle, one of our community members who is an artist in the book, also is part of the Abandoned Quest stream on Twitch. They do TTRPG stuff, so now properly shouting that out. Also, as well, if you are watching this and want to get involved in Quelmar as well, to join a game, run a game, we are a 501c3 nonprofit charity organization dedicated to building community through gameplay. If that sounds good to you, want to hop on board or just learn more about us, you can head to our website there, quelmar.world, and or join our Discord server that we've got listed here. That is our main mode of communication, no matter where you are. So yeah, come check us out. I will also, I guess I put the book away, but I flashed it last time. But yes, our curated Chronicles of Quelmar, our lore and setting book for Quelmar, that is officially published. You can find more about that book if you want to check it out or maybe buy one. That is on quelmar.world. That is all community generated. The content, yes, thank you, Angela. That's the one. That all the content in there, all the art, every word in there, even the editing, layout, all that, it is entirely community generated. No AI artists here. That's all us. So, yeah. And last time I will say, I mentioned it last time, but it came out last week. The sort of gem from the vault, from the vaults of 2021, that epic level 20 one shot that I ran for Quelmar, was the first thing I ran for Quelmar. That's up on the YouTube VOD now. I ran it as a rerun in this slot last week. And all I will say, one last thing I'll say about that is, feel like I have plenty of space to grow, but I have already come a long way from running Twitch tech from 2 years ago. It might be best on YouTube after all, because you can turn up the playback speed or skip sections where I'm fumbling with tech. Yikes. But the game content is good. I will stand by that. It's also got some chapters there that you can jump to, so you can skip past the tech bits and get to the meaty, juicy story chunks. And one last replug for The Well. Very cool dungeon delving TTRPG, graciously 3 copies donated to us by the creator, Peter Schaefer. You can check out, you can buy your own copy if you're so interested, or you can check out our lending library on our website to borrow a copy of your own, if that all sort of horror-driven, fighting the undead hordes comprised of your ancestors while uncovering the mystery and artifacts of under the earth here in the eponymous Well. Come check it out. Last announcement is the streaming schedule. So we all got together as a group to chat here for the final sessions. Schedules here in the fall are lined up to be pretty rough, so we do have the final sessions, all scheduled out for the remainder of Cyberpunk. So today was the first. Next week, July 17th, the week directly after, 24th, and the week after that, the 31st. So here in July, instead of going back weekly, we are single weekly. So this time next week, then the week after, every Monday in July, we're going to be here. We may not have a full team force every single time, but we are going to bang the story out. And then the finale will be basically 1 month after that last July 31st. So every Monday here in July, 10th, 17th, 24th, 31st. And then the finale will be on August 28th. That is the last scheduled session for that. So yeah, keep an eye out on that. We'll do the usual announcements and everything, but just because the schedule is unusual based on how we have been streaming so far, just want to give you all a heads up. Yeah, I think that's all the business here, all the plugs and bits and pieces. So there's only one thing left here to do, and that is our sign off. Yes, roll the dice. You know it. You love it. On the 3. 1, 2, 3.
Keep rolling the dice.
Those dice. Perfect.
I tried to quit gambling, but gambling quit me. Seems to be a bit of a pattern. Any case. Good night, folks.